Hello, everyone, and welcome inside Guv Fuller Field for more Falmouth Commodores baseball. This time, though, on the radio waves. If you're not able to join on Nesson and catch the action visually, we're happy you could join us here on the Falmouth Commodores radio network. Matt Venezia alongside Zach Sardenik and Destiny Sanchez. Falmouth trying to figure it out here, fourth consecutive losses. It's another day with Hyannis in a West Division battle. We're going to go to Destiny Sanchez, who has an update.
Thanks, Matt. Carson Montgomery is starting on the mound for the Doors tonight out of Florida State. He was gone for a little bit. He headed to Phoenix, Arizona for the MLB Draft Combine. So far with Falmouth, he's had two outings, once against YD and one against Bourne. He was also on Falmouth last year, started once with 4 innings pitched, 4 strikeouts, and no runs let up. It's great to have him back starting on the mound tonight for the Commodores, and it might start a little bit of momentum for the team.
A team that is in dire need of it, Destiny, and momentum as you talk about. You look back, Zach, you look back at the Chatham game where you're getting perfect game through 19 batters. Then you have a game yesterday with Harwich shutting you down, only 2 hits and an 8-1 loss. Something's got to give here. And, we saw the pitching machine now being used in BP. That's different. We saw now at the home uniforms here are now going to be the black jerseys, mixing it up tonight. There's a lot of different things that the Commodores are trying here to maybe get off the schneid.
Yeah, just looking for some different mojo. We talked a little bit about it in opening the door, but try and mix things up and give yourself a different look and see what you can do because hitting is contagious. You just got to get somebody to get the ball rolling.
So on the mound, the Commodores might have a way to do that in Montgomery. He has 2 starts. Destiny told us a little bit about him, but he struggled with the walks a little bit, Zach. What are you looking for out of the right-hander tonight? And so far, through the starts that we've seen him, he hasn't gone very long.
He hasn't, and not many Commodores pitchers have to this point, but the big thing I'm looking for is that first inning. That's been a telltale sign of how these games have gone for Falmouth overall this season. When their opponent scores in the first inning, 0-5. When their opponent scores first in general, 1-7-2. Got to get in front early, try and hold the lead from there.
There's some pregame festivities going on the field at the moment. That'll give us the time to tell you who Carson Montgomery will be going up against. Leading it off, the designated hitter, Cam Smith. Austin Kelly, the former Commodore, in the 2-hole. He's now at first base tonight. He's been used a little bit all over the diamond recently for the Harbor Hawks. Billy Amick, active right now, 382, the best average amongst all Harbor Hawkers up to this point. Brady Donne will be in the cleanup role behind the plate. Elijah Hainlane behind him at shortstop. Will Taylor in straightaway center field. Nick Mitchell, a new add in left. Zach Earhart, we saw him last time in their walk-off win against the Doors the other night. He'll be in right. And Bradkey Lowry at second base, caboosing this order for the Hyannis Harbor Hawks. 6-1. The Hawks trying to get over 500. Meanwhile, Falmouth trying to climb this division. And right now, the Doors 4 points behind Hyannis in that 4th spot in the division, Zach. So you can do a little kill 2 birds with 1 stone action here tonight if the Doors can find a way to win.
You can. You pick up some momentum going into the off day, and you also push yourself back closer. Hyannis has the day off tomorrow as well, but they have played one less game. They have a makeup game from a rainout that is scheduled for July 3rd with Orleans. So that'll be a game that will start to even the standings up in terms of games played once we hit that point, but a big spot right now.
Well said, partner. You mentioned the off day, and I think we're all feeling it, but this is game 9 in 9 days. Tomorrow, there will be an off day league-wide, so the Commodores could certainly like to find a win and then go into the off day and have an ability to reset, find your footing a little bit. And I think that's most important for, all the bats that have certainly been struggling to this point for the Commodores, but especially for the right-handed pitcher, Carson Montgomery, who we've mentioned here briefly.
Yeah, and momentum's such a big thing in baseball, and you have to be able to ride the waves that you're on and try and lower the tougher stretches that you have, limit those, and increase the momentum on the hot stretches. Just keep on pushing, and it's going to be a hot start that's going to have to be the case.
So we told you about Carson Montgomery. All around him, we'll let you know what's going on. Travis Bazzana in left. He's making an appearance out there for the first time this season. Straightaway center is going to be Nate Humphrey. Joe Redfield's in right, and all around the diamond from left to right, DeBarge at third, Gavin Keelan at short, Christian Martin at second, and Cade Snell at first, with Ross Highfill behind the plate catching the balls and strikes tonight. The middle infield back to the opening day middle infield we've seen here time and time again. Now with the import of all the new talent here now that Jeff Trundy has the ability to work with. But the Commodores to this point, 3-9-2, trying to find a way to end the Schneid a little bit. Only one win at home, the other two on the road at Brewster and Harwich. But it was a 3-game road trip back at the Guv yesterday. A tough loss here against a very, very good Harwich team that to this point now is certainly well on their way at the very top of that East Division, despite the Doors winning on their turf the other night to begin this season.
Yeah, and just have to continue to try and fight through that tough stretch. I mean, Harwich is a really good team, and they came out and showed it last night. There's a reason they've won 6 of 7 to push to the top of the East Division.
So now we get an opportunity to see Cam Smith for the first time tonight. We mentioned in the designated hitter role tonight.
Cam Smith's got a lot of pop in that bat. I really like what he brings out of Florida State. He's versatile. He's DHing tonight, but we've seen him play infield and outfield and a big frame from the right side.
Out of the full wind, Smith's first pitch swinging, and it's launched. The very first pitch of the day, a fastball down Broadway. And Smith has left the yard. It is 1-0 Hyannis.
I mentioned that I liked what Smith was bringing and just got something over the plate, and that's what Montgomery struggled with in his last outing. Leaving pitches over the zone, and Smith made him pay.
Well, in his last outing, which was prior to him leaving for the draft combine, it was on the road at YD. In an eventful first inning, we saw a 3-run shot that nearly hit a house out in right field. I mean, that house was probably about a good 20 to 30 feet away from the right field fence, and it one-hopped the foundation, the concrete of the home, but nonetheless, right out of the gate, the visitors have the lead. Another first pitch swing here from the lefty, Austin Kelly, back here at the Guv, made 2 starts here at this field prior to then being cut and then now finding a home with Hyannis.
Well, and you also got to look at it with Montgomery and Smith as well, teammates at Florida State.
Some Seminole on Seminole crime there, which is tolerated for now just with them being on opposite sides, but I'm sure that'll be a laughing matter for the two of them once they return to Tallahassee in the coming months. Out of the full line, accepting the sign, the 0-2 is spiked in the dirt at 85. Ross Highfield getting his chest in front of that one. But another situation with Falmouth trailing early. Saw it yesterday, an ugly 4-run spot put up by Harwich. But we'll see if Montgomery, with that first ball he threw in the count, if he can evade it here. The 1-2, late on that one and spoiling it foul.
And Austin Kelly knows what Montgomery brings. He was the catcher for Montgomery's debut earlier this season against Bourne for the Doors, now on the other side of it.
It's definitely a different situation. Montgomery, the 1-2 out of the full wind. This one's lined right back up. It's going to be a tough play for Humphreys, laying out, and he makes the play. Humphreys showing off that gold glove we've seen several times this season, and that might be why he's got the start in center tonight. That's the first out.
He can play any of the 3 outfield positions. He moves well, and he always gets a really good jump on the ball.
Partner, I just realized Austin Kelly wearing number 5 tonight, not wearing his traditional 30. So that is a loud and exciting first out of this ball game. And that brings in Billy Amick. We talked about him there at the very top. Best in average across the Harbor Hawks and inside the top 5 amongst Cape League hitters. This is a Hyannis team that is 2-0 to this point of the year against Falmouth. You remember the rainout game at their place. Both meetings up to this point on the road at McKeon Park. The first one here of the series being done at the Guv. Breaking ball, cut on and missed, evening the count at 1.
Got to shut this down. Can't allow more than the one run to come across here in the first.
The full wind, the pitch on the way. Fastball, low part of the zone. It's in and out of the glove of Highfield. Missing for a ball, 2-1.
But this is a dangerous 3-4 punch here in Amick and Done. These guys can really swing it.
That 382 average is jumping off the page right now from Amick. The wind, this is a fastball upstairs, tipped and looked to be off the mask of the home plate umpire behind the plate, Joe Gravina. He's adjusting himself now, looks to be okay, 2-2.
We talk about the 384 average, and that's lower than what he had at Clemson. Hit over 400 for the Tigers this year. All-American for Clemson.
Montgomery accepts a sign out of the full wind, the 2-2. Fastball back upstairs. This time Amick leaves it there, and the Tigers work the count now to 3-2. Good crowd here on the second of two back-to-back games at home, and that Nesson has on TV. On the ground, in the hole at second base the opposite way. Christian Martin thought about going over there. It was kind of a no man's land between him and Cade Snell, and it's a one-out base hit.
Yeah, a little inside-out action there. Heyman kind of got jammed, but was able to fist it the other way for a single.
So Amick reaches now. Hit number 14 for him in 35 tries. Joe Gravina calling time himself here, again adjusting his mask. He just took a foul ball there a couple pitches ago from Amick. Montgomery now out of the stretch. Will look over at Amick. Comes set. Lifts the leg and goes. This one's driven the other way to right. Backing up is Redfield. Still back. He'll make the play a few steps in front of the fence. And another long out. Montgomery using his outfielders to help record outs. That's the second one of the inning.
Yeah, and a lot of hard hit baseballs. Everything has been hit hard so far against Montgomery. It's a Hyannis team that struggled a little bit swinging the bat over the last few games as well. And so if you're Montgomery, you want to try and keep that there and not allow any momentum for the Hyannis bats. But so far, that hasn't been the case.
So it's Elijah Hainline now. We didn't see him last time. He's only been here in Hyannis just a few days. That slider there missing away from Hainline, and Montgomery will come set looking to find the zone here. Offered a breaking ball first, now comes with the hot stuff, and it's fouled straight back to us, 1-1. But again, yes, a good crowd here on the second day of the Nesson broadcasts here, the showcase game across the Cape League here today. So a lot of league officials here and league talent. Breaking ball here, thought about it, left it down low and away. It's a 2-1 count, hitters count opportunity here.
Hainline with a long trip here from Spokane, native of Spokane, Washington, plays at Washington State.
He's a Coug. 2-1, another foul ball straight back on the fastball. Montgomery sitting in the low 90s at the moment, but yeah, saw Hainline with the matchup that the Cougs had with the Sun Devils earlier this year. Was out there in Tempe for it. Good to see, again, a lot of that West Coast talent finding themselves comfortable here in the Cape League. 2-2 with two gone. Fastball upstairs. Highfield has to jump to make the play. And now on the move, it'll be Done at first. Snell probably won't hold him. But a big spot here, one pitch away from getting out of the inning. Already a leadoff home run if you're just tuning in. Cam Smith on the first pitch he saw. Put it over the left field wall. Out of the stretch, Montgomery. This one's hard on the ground with a play on it. DeBarge, long throw across the diamond. And with a stretch, Snell makes the play. We told you what happened in the inning. And with two hits, the defense rests. Now the Commodores will come up to bat. It's 1-0 Hyannis as we get going here, headed to the bottom of the first. We'll be right back on the Commodores Radio Network. So the leadoff home run by Hyannis has Falmouth trailing by one as we begin. To take you through the order, Joe Redfield leading it off. He's in right. We saw him make a play on the track. Travis Bazzana again. He's in left. Haven't seen him there just yet. DeBarge in the 3-hole. He's at the hot corner. Ross Highfill cleaning it up behind the plate. Gavin Keelan back to shortstop, the former freshman from Louisville. Christian Martin out of Virginia Tech at second. Cade Snell's at first. Nate Humphreys a diving catch. He's in straightaway center. And Walker Yannick having both catchers in the lineup, but Yannick is the DH.
Yeah, Yannick's been swinging a good bat over the last week or so, and you just want to see him in the lineup and see if he can make solid contact, put some balls in play.
And with that, Simon Miller, his second appearance on the year for Hyannis. He's on the mound. The righty is a closer, but he'll be starting today.
And he can bring it on the mound. Fastball slider mix. Does have a changeup too, but doesn't use it much. The fastball can get up to 96 in one inning stints, but in longer stints, it's been a little bit lower, 91, 93.
Gets a cut and miss here. Slowed it down. Looked like a changeup in there to Redfield. But out of the University of Texas, San Antonio.
Roadrunners.
That's right. A 2.3 ERA out of the bullpen. Plenty of opportunities this year, and he's been the guy for the Roadrunners, as you talked about, and now he gets a unique opportunity, instead of being out of the bullpen, to begin the ball game.
But he's still protecting a lead. That's what was so important about Hyannis getting something early.
The 1-2. That one came running back in, maybe some two-seam type movement there. Low and into Redfield, the left-handed bat of Falmouth.
Yeah, that changeup had some good fade on that pitch. Starting away. We said he doesn't use it much, but there he goes to it in that 2-strike count.
2-2, having to go to the bag of tricks here. Does it again. 87 down and in, cut on and missed. And that's the first out of the inning. It's a strikeout for Redfield.
And that's been the biggest struggle for the Doors over the last few games in that losing streak. The last two games, they've struck out 28 times. 15 against Chatham, 13 last night. When you're striking out more than you're putting the ball in play, it's not a recipe for success.
But the difference in Chatham was that the Commodores were dealing the same amount of
Correct.
strikeouts as well. Last night, different story. First pitch swinging, chopping this one foul is Bazzana, and he'll walk back out of the batter's box and regather his thoughts. 0-1 now.
Bazzana's swing looked real good in batting practice today. We'll see where he can get going in the game.
The leg kick by Miller. 86 stayed up and away, evening the count at 1.
Yeah, he's trying to use that slider on the back door, trying to throw it for strikes. Isn't really using it too much as a put-away pitch early in counts, trying to get chases.
This time he comes with the heat, and it's up and away. 2-1 now. Bazzana ahead of it here.
You want to get ahead in the count, and you want to push the pitch count of Simon Miller up. Try and get him out of the game early.
Bazzana just one hit and 11 tries to this point since getting back into the action here. One of the late adds with Gavin Turley, the two Oregon State Beavers getting in here to the Cape League just a couple of days ago. Made his debut against Catuit the other day in that tough loss for Falmouth. Breaking ball, cut on and sent straight back. Staying alive in the box is Bazzana in left field tonight for Jeff Trundy and the Commodores.
Saw the slider up there. Don't be surprised if Miller comes back with the slider down, similar to what he did in the last at-bat to Redfield to try and put him away.
It was a pretty good pitch. We'll see what he goes here. It's the fastball up and away. That one's at 93. And a full count here. So getting the closer in pretty much the same situation, I guess, count-wise, with being in high leverage and having to work tough pitches and go to certain spots early in the ball game. We'll see what he goes to here. The 3-2 slowed it down on him, and it's popped a mile into the air over our heads and foul. And we'll do the 3-2 once more.
Good battle by Bazzana, just spoiling the pitches he doesn't like, trying to find something that he can drive into that right center field gap. That's where he was peppering all throughout BP. We'll see if he can do it again here.
Bazzana looking to get another hit here through the youth of his time here in Falmouth, and he sends it straight back. Got a bender there, and he works it back again, another full count.
Yeah, a lot of sliders in the 2-strike counts here from Miller, just continuing to pound it. We'll see if he goes to the heater. Just hasn't been able to locate the heater as well as he has the slider so far.
From the stretch, the pitch. This one's driven on a line, and having a play on it just barely is Earhart out there, and that was pieced by Bazzana just right at the right fielder. That's the second out of the inning.
And that's kind of the way it seems like it's went so far for Falmouth over the last few games. When they are putting the ball in play, if they hit it hard, it's been right at a glove.
But again, through the these struggles we've been talking about, it is encouraging, and especially for a guy like Bazzana who's still looking for just his second hit so far through his first couple games here. It's encouraging to see his first at-bat, working at-bats and sending one on a line like that. This is a slider here, low and away to the bat of Kyle DeBarge. Now, DeBarge has been one of the more encouraging bats for Falmouth to this point. A .226 hitter, only 2 hits in a couple of tries. This one's on a line, and that will be one of those hits. So he does get one here. DeBarge thought about turning it on as that one was lined to straightaway center. They just barely got away from Taylor, but he keeps it close by, and it's a 2-out base hit for the Commodores.
It's exactly what you're looking to do. Extend innings, give yourself base runners, give yourselves a chance. DeBarge has good wheels, too. We'll see if they move. They stole a lot of bases the last time they played Hyannis. We'll see if they try and get in motion again.
And now it's Ross Highfill, who we had talked about in opening the door, the only active Commodore to this point with a home run. Deuce Gorson's not here anymore at the Team USA tryouts. Neither is Charlie Condon. Highfill's got 2 of those big swings. Some of the other power doors still waiting to get their first over the fence here in the Cape League. But Highfill in the cleanup spot tonight. Swung over the top of that changeup. DeBarge didn't really know that that ball got away from Donay, and he had to stay at first now with a 0-2 count.
That's unfortunate. Want to be able to move up on that. But smart by DeBarge when he didn't get a good jump to hold up. Because if you try to take off in a spot where you don't get a great jump just because you think you should go, that's how you get thrown out.
The pitch from Miller, fastball upstairs. Donay liked the spot, pointing back to his right-hander as he was set to throw the baseball back. 1-2.
They're just trying to see if Highfill will chase one up. One of those 2 home runs from Highfill was against Hyannis. They've seen up close that type of power that he's got. Don't want to give him anything with 2 strikes to hammer.
A ball and 2 strikes with 2 away. The pitch, swing and a miss. Goes with the slider. Highfill over the top. He goes down swinging. A pair of strikeouts in the inning for Miller, and they strand the 2-out base hit from DeBarge. It's 1-0 for the visitors. We'll be right back here on the Commodores Radio Network. Ready for the top of the second. Montgomery back out there now. Will Taylor will lead it off, followed by Mitchell and Earhart, who made that on-the-run grab out there and right, robbing Bazana of a hit. A couple of line drives there by the Commodores in the inning. One of them got down in DeBarge's hit. The other one from Bazana could have certainly been a hit if it wasn't for Earhart being the right fielder.
Yeah, and it's just good swings, and that's what you want to see. You want to build momentum and work through that process. If you're getting good swings, more often than not, you're going to find yourself in some games.
So Will Taylor will take on Montgomery. His second inning of work beginning now, and this one got a piece of him on the elbow. A fastball inside, and Taylor taking his time and now waving his right arm a little bit. That one certainly got him in the funny bone. You don't want to be hit there, and it's a leadoff base runner once again.
It's killed Falmouth over the last week or so, allowing base runners early in innings, and more often than not, a leadoff walk or a leadoff hit batter is going to come around to score.
Already saw the leadoff bat of Cam Smith putting one over the left field fence. Really, really good offense here in the lineup for Hyannis, a 6-win team to this point in the Cape season. Right in the thick of the middle chunk of this West Division, with Bourne and Wareham each within a point of each other. Fastball here off the outside, left from Montgomery, 1-0 now. But a base runner to worry about here in Will Taylor, who extends his primary lead a little bit. Cade Snell's holding him. Montgomery, a last look to first before coming set after a few shakes. Lifts the leg and the pitch. This one on a line right to Gavin Keelan. A quick throw back to Snell. Not in time. That one actually got a piece of Taylor getting back in.
Taylor was quick to sprint back to the bag there, but did a really nice job of getting to it quickly and trying to make a play there. I don't hate that at all.
Can be ruled an L6 on your sheet today. A line drive right to Keelan, back in the lineup once again for the Commodores. The opening day shortstop for the Doors in that large margin loss. It was a high-scoring game as this one gets away from Highfill, and he went to go chase after it, and hang on. He's adjusting his shin guard here. I think maybe the equipment might be caught in his sock, perhaps,
yeah,
or maybe.
I wonder if it cut him. It kind of looked like he was in some pain, but maybe it is just caught in there.
It was a bunt effort that got away. That was Earhart trying to do it. And Highfill went to give chase, and now he is attending to himself a little bit and limping. Let's see. Under his own power, walking back to home plate. Don't want to speculate too much. Jeff Trundy stepping out of the dugout now, too. Highfill giving a thumbs up to Jeff Trundy. Not quite sure what happened there. Maybe just rolled himself a little bit. I'm not quite sure, Zach.
Yeah, he's a tough guy back there, and he was trying to make a play. He was sprinting after that ball. He thought about diving for it. Was unable to get to it. Trying to make a play out of something that normally you don't even see a lot of guys go after that ball.
The backstop out of Mississippi State just finished up his freshman year. He's really been reliable for the Commodores to this point through the team's struggles. A fastball here sent foul over the first base dugout of Falmouth. And a good job by Montgomery through that, pause in time there to deliver a fastball, get it now ahead in the count, 0-2.
Yeah, and with both catchers in the lineup as well, it's a little tougher if Highfield does have to come out of the game. You'd have to do some double switches to get things going.
The 0-2 from Montgomery. Going on the pitch is Taylor. The throw down in time. Yes, it is. It was a ball in the dirt, and Highfield delivers a strike for the throw out right after appearing to injure himself. And if that tells you that he's okay, that's a good throw out from Highfield.
Yeah, that was a dot. That was a pitch in the dirt that he had to pick on a backhand and deliver that strong throw to Christian Martin.
Now, Ross Highfield, we had talked about with him and Yannick that Highfield had to throw a base runner out, was able to do it right there. That was his best throwdown we've seen to this point in the year, Zach.
That was right on target, right on the money. Taylor's got good speed.
Suddenly one pitch away from getting out of the inning. This breaking ball is spiked. No chance for Highfield to stop that one, but now no base runners to attend to. The deuces are wild. 2 balls, 2 strikes with 2 out here in the inning. From Earhart now, who had a base runner to his advantage. Now suddenly the only man out there for Hyannis. The 2-2, fastball low and away, and it'll be another full count.
You don't want to lose him here. You're up 0-2 in the count. Got to fire a strike.
The walks have certainly gotten to Montgomery through his time here in Falmouth. The big swing and a miss. Goes with the fastball away from the righty. And a big strikeout for Montgomery. Only his second of the season, but he's certainly building himself back up here in his 3rd start on the summer. The Doors take care of business on the base paths, throwing a runner out, and then the strikeout there ends the inning. No one left on for Falmouth defensively, and now the Bats will try to tie the game in the bottom of the 2nd here on the Commodores Radio Network. Falmouth Bats looking for the equalizer here in the bottom of the second. But first, a message from Destiny about Cape Cod Healthcare.
Thanks, Matt. Cape Cod isn't just any community, it's our community. At Cape Cod Healthcare, our mission is to provide exceptional, high quality care for our neighbors and visitors. It's at the core of everything we do. From wellness initiatives and preventative screenings to leading edge technology and specialized clinical expertise, our dedicated team is committed to delivering care that enhances the well being of all in this special region. Cape Cod Healthcare congratulates the Cape Cod Baseball League on its 100-year anniversary and is proud to be this year's official healthcare sponsor. Learn more at capecodhealth.org. Cape Cod Healthcare, caring commitment community.
Thank you for that message, Destiny, as we get ready for the second inning of Falmouth Bats. Gavin Keelan will lead it off. For a Falmouth team, as we've talked about, some struggles offensively, but even with the low amount of runs being scored, Zach, this team's right around middle of the pack in terms of runs driven in, hits at the plate. I mean, I think it's a small sample size for these last two games that have really not gone the way the Falmouth Bats have wanted them to.
Yeah, and I think also right before that, the numbers a little inflated from the outburst against Wareham. And so you get mix of both. Things can go quickly one way or the other with one quick swing.
And a guy who has that ability is Gavin Keelan. He's been a threat on the bases when he's gotten on. He leaves this fastball upstairs. Ahead of it, 2-0 now is Keelan. A .257 hitter here on the summer. 9 hits and 35 tries. Has driven in 6, which is inside top 5 amongst Falmouth Bats to this point. Keelan gets a hold of this one. He pops it up just off the infield, though, giving chases Lowry, and he'll get there in shallow center to retire Gavin Keelan.
Yeah, just got a pitch elevated, tried to go get it, and got a little under it.
Christian Martin now will step in here for the Doors. Martin seen his playing time go up just a little bit. Again, just the shuffling of the cards that you see in typical summer ball leagues. But in particular, over the last couple games, just looking for something here, looking for a spark. Martin has that ability. He shows bunt there and fouls it straight back.
He's got a good swing. There's a lot of room the other way. He's had a couple of opposite field hits so far on the summer. Love to see him go right back towards that side.
Coming set is Miller out there for his second inning of work. Slowed it down on him inside. A changeup fouled straight back, and it's 0-2.
Miller to this point's been good. Just 25 pitches so far. He's got the ability to go deeper in games. We've seen it from him at UTSA this year.
Martin comes up empty there. He actually did foul it, though, straight back. It was nearly held by Done behind the plate. Martin had to look back just to make sure, and he stands in there for another chance at it.
That hurts if you're Done to have it pop out of the glove there.
The pitch slowed it down, a changeup. It's rolled to the shortstop Hainline. The pitch on the way, and he throws him out. Ruled that one a 6-3 to Austin Kelly now at first base. 2 away.
Yeah, there's been a couple of hard-hit balls from Bazana and DeBarge, but for the most part, Simon Miller's been in control, as he was throughout the season with the Roadrunners.
That he was. We talked about his numbers a little bit earlier. But just stifled hitters that he saw. A .246 opponent average when this guy's been on the mound for UTSA.
The Harbor Hawks have the scouting report against Snell. They're not shifting him at all.
This one lined off the leg of Miller. He'll be the one to go grab it, and Cade Snell's got himself an infield hit. Giving a thumbs up back to Joe Gravina behind the plate. Simon Miller looks to be all right. A line drive base hit off of the pitcher allows Falmouth another in back-to-back innings, 2-out base hit.
Just another good swing. Hit it right back to where it came from.
So it's now on base now. Nate Humphreys gets an opportunity in the box. Out of Dallas Baptist, we saw his glove show off just a little bit earlier. First pitch, changeup inside for a strike.
Humphreys has struggled so far this summer, but he has a lot of pop in that bat. Had a really good season at Dallas Baptist. Got to think he's going to break out at some point.
Swing and a miss at 84. Gave him the hook there. But you're right, Zach, 14 home runs, 55 RBIs at DBU this year. Just waiting for him and some other bats in this order to wake up just a little bit. The fastball inside, lifting his arms up in defense of it, 1-2.
Miller's used that pitch as a setup, trying to go back to that breaking ball. That's his best pitch. He's loved it so far today. We'll see if he goes to it here.
Miller now, after that one, the 1-2. This one's chopped on the ground to second. Lowry goes the easy way to first, and a 4-3 putout ends the Falmouth second inning. It's still 1-0 Hyannis as we move quickly to the third here on the Commodores Radio Network. Carson Montgomery out for the third inning here. Has not made it through a third inning so far here in his 2 starts for Falmouth. Looking to change that here today. Bradkey Lowry will lead off here, the 9-man in the order, and he's looking to change history the last time these two faced off in that walk-off win for Hyannis 3-2. Struck out 4 times and walked once, so found a way on base, but the old golden sombrero is looking to reverse that here.
Yeah, just trying to get some good swings in and put the ball in play. He's looking to flip that lineup and get Cam Smith back to the plate with how good of a swing he had in his last at-bat. You always want that type of bat and that type of confidence at the plate.
Yeah, he's very capable. 335 hitter with 40 runs driven in this past season with Wabash Valley. And now he's in there with Tennessee, transferring to be a volunteer this year. We want to thank you for joining us again. Matt Venezia, Zach Sardenik, Destiny Sanchez on the radio here, with Nesson providing it on TV. A big night in collegiate baseball, Game 3 of the College World Series. The Florida Gators and the LSU Tigers going at it here in a winner-take-all final game. 2-1 Florida right now in the top of the second, but LSU's threatening a little bit. Montgomery out of the full line, the 1-0. This one's driven on a line. Backing up and left is Bazana. It's over his head. It one-hops the wall, and Lowry starts off his ball game with Falmouth the right way. It's a leadoff double for the Harbor Hawks.
Good piece of hitting. Another pitch that got a lot of plate, and Lowry didn't miss it.
We mentioned the inexperience, at least in this Falmouth season, with Bazana out there and left. But a versatile defender out there, no doubt.
Yeah, and a lot of speed as well. It's just a different angle. Got to get used to tracking a fly ball off the bat. It's quite different than tracking a ground ball.
First pitch swinging is Cam Smith. He fouls this one off. Is there a play on it? No, there's not. Along the right field line. To lead off the ball game, the very first pitch he saw, Cam Smith put it over the left field fence, over the head of Bazana. So right now the 1-2 is giving Travis a little workout out there in left. From the stretch, Montgomery set in the pitch. This one's grounded to first. Snell will do it himself and now has to look over to third, where Lowry was able to advance on the infield ground out, one away.
That's a productive out, though. That's what you're looking for. If you're Cam Smith, just put the ball in play, move up that runner, and the Harbor Hawks have an insurance run just 90 feet away.
And a chance here for Austin Kelly, who did some damage in his first matchup against Falmouth after recently moving over there, pretty much a couple days after the Doors released him. He was already back in there against Falmouth at McKeon Park, and in that game he worked a lot of good at bats, Zach, but that RBI double back in the 6th inning of that ball game really kind of broke him into the ball game after some really good at bats before that.
Yeah, it tied up the game for Hyannis. They were able to walk it off in the 9th. It was a good game at McKeon Park for sure.
Former teammates going head to head here. A fastball upstairs from Montgomery stays high and away. 2-0.
You're in a spot where walking this guy isn't the worst thing in the world that would happen to you, but you've got Billy Amick and Brody Donay coming next. You don't want to see those guys with 2 on base. You don't want to see them with any on base, but if you have to, you'd rather just be the one.
Breaking ball here, outer half, called strike, going to the back door there on the hook. The first strike of the at-bat for Montgomery. We'll see if he can keep finding a way here. Has a little bit of homework to do here with runners on third now. The pitch, the 2-1. This one's driven by Kelly right at the right fielder, Joe Redfield. A big throw will be needed coming in. It's not cut off on a couple of hops. Highfield fields it. It's a sacrifice fly by Austin Kelly, and it's 2-0 for Hyannis.
It's where those leadoff base runners can kill you. I mean, 3 straight innings with the leadoff man aboard for Hyannis, and they're just continuing to start well here against the Doors.
Billy Amick will step out of the box here and step in after receiving a couple of signs back there. The third baseman tonight out of Clemson had a base hit with 1 away in that first inning. Got shown a sword there. He wasn't too confident in that swing, pulling it back. Good first pitch strike in the dirt from Carson Montgomery. So 2-0 already for Hyannis here on the road at the Guv. Another breaking ball. This one's popped up in the infield. Just out of the infield grass, Christian Martin calling for it on the right side. And in shallow center, he'll make the play. And that'll retire the inning. 1 more run for Hyannis, but the rest is stranded. 3 hits already for the Harbor Hawks, with Falmouth trailing by 2. We'll see you on the other side of the break on the Commodores Radio Network. (9-1-2) due up for Falmouth, trailing already 2-0. As we get ready for the bottom of the third inning, Matt Venezia, Zach Sardenik, Destiny Sanchez, and others here from the Guv, bringing it to you here on the radio waves. An off day tomorrow in game 9 in 9 days for the players of Falmouth and the crew here bringing it to. So a chance for the Doors to try to find a win and go into that brief pause of the action before getting back to work on the road at Orleans on Wednesday. We'll be with you for that one on the Commodores Radio Network. So Walker Yannick, first pitch swinging. Fastball sent straight back, foul.
And some light stretching out there in the bullpen for Hyannis. This is kind of when we expected it would come for Miller. Give him 3 innings, and if he can give you 3 shutout for Hyannis, you got to feel great about it. Doors trying to spoil that, though.
Change up down and away to Yannick. The first ball of the at-bat. 2-0.
And the biggest difference, obviously, the extra base hits for Hyannis, but they're getting base runners on early in innings. The Doors, 2 outs and then a single in each of the first 2 frames.
It's 1-1, I beg your pardon, as that one's up inside. 2-1 now. to Yannick, the catcher out of Sam Houston State. In the designated hitter role tonight. Yesterday saw him behind the plate in the loss against Harwich. 2-1, changed it up on him, a swing and a miss, 2-2.
Just mixing in that off-speed pitch. It's been so good to this point in the game for Miller. There's no reason for him to go away from it.
Yannick with a slight knee bend. With the bat over the right side here, the 2-2. This one's chopped on the ground at third. Amick, long throw across the diamond, needing a pick over there at first. Austin Kelly looks like a traditional first baseman with that one, and that's the first out of the inning.
Good job by Miller to battle back in the count there. Get themselves into it, and then really nice pick over at first by Kelly.
So it's Joe Redfield. Back to the top of the order. He struck out on strikes back in the top of the first. Checked at the bottom of the first, leading it off for Falmouth. Sends one straight back here. And the first one he sees from Miller at 92. Not seeing any activity yet in regards to Carson Montgomery. Should see him for the fourth inning. The 0-1, Redfield pops this one up. It's a dying quail in short left center, and it'll get down. Redfield gets himself a base hit.
A knock is a knock. Doesn't matter how hard you hit it. It'll still help the batting average all the same.
It all looks the same as you mentioned. And that one drops down despite Taylor sliding to make the play. Came up empty there. Joe Redfield's on first now with one away. The third hit for the Commodores tonight. Already more than what they had yesterday. And a tough effort against Harwich, as we were talking about earlier. Now Travis Bazzana takes a first pitch off the outside for a ball.
Done has a good arm behind the plate, but with the amount of off-speed pitches that Miller has used, if Redfield can get a good pitch selection and get a good jump, might be a good chance.
Big cut there from Bazzana. He comes up empty on the changeup, evening the count at 1. Miller comes set on the mound with Redfield still on first. Another changeup there, a very good pitch, but missing for a ball, 2-2.
Yeah, just a little low and outside. A good take there by Bazzana. You're not going to do much with that pitch, even if it is ended up calling a strike, so not a bad job to lay off it.
The leg kick. This one's in the dirt. 3-1 now. The previous pitch was on a 2-1 count. Now very friendly hitters count here from Bazzana. We're trying to see him get his bat going here a little bit. A quality chance here after that line drive out he had in his previous at-bat.
Yeah, it was a really good swing. He got a fastball to hit after fouling off a lot of sliders. If he gets another heater here, look for him to attack.
The 3-1 takes the changeup off the plate away, and back-to-back base runners for Falmouth give Kyle DeBarge an opportunity with a man in scoring position.
And this is what you're looking for. String together base runners. This is what they haven't been able to do over the last couple of nights. If they get somebody on, it's usually been one guy on for the inning, and then that's pretty much it. And so you're stringing together base runners. You got less than 2 outs. Hit a ball in the gap, you could tie it, but either way, just try to keep the train moving here if you're DeBarge.
Kyle DeBarge had a sharp line drive base hit with 2 out in the first. Something like that here would certainly be nice to have in this inning for a Falmouth team, as you mentioned, trying to find its offensive juice here over the past couple of nights. Just haven't quite seen it. Takes a strike there on the first pitch. Fastball here, popped up, sent straight back. And it's quickly 0-2 from Miller.
Miller doing exactly what he's supposed to do. You walk a guy, you come back and pound the zone, and he's ahead now to DeBarge.
The 0-2 coming from Miller. Slowed it down on him with a changeup over the top, cut on and missed. And that is the second out of the inning. DeBarge goes rather quickly. And it'll be Ross Highfill stepping in. He's had a couple big spots offensively this season and come through. Another one here for, well, it's still early in the game. You're talking about a team here that really has been trying to get it going the last couple of nights, and you get a spot here.
And this is the second time we've talked about this in a Hyannis Falmouth game, but you got weather that could impact this one as well, and so you don't want to fall behind, especially if you get through 5.
Miller looks to second. The changeup on the first pitch swung on and missed. Upstairs and away to Highfill.
Highfield's going to see a lot of sliders in this at bat. I don't know that he's going to see a fastball, especially now that Miller was able to use that one to get ahead in the count.
Miller does come set. The right-hander works now. It gives him another changeup. That one's up and in, taken for another strike. And it's 0-2. This has been 5 consecutive strikes after the walk to Bazana. And just one pitch away now is Miller here trying to retire Ross Highfill. Coming set once again. The lift of the leg and the pitch. A fastball up near the head of Highfill. Got out of the way of that one, and it's 1-2.
Yeah, that one's not fun. Anytime you see fastball up towards the head area, you want to get out of the way as fast as possible.
Big spot here for the Commodores. The 1-2 pitch. Changeup in the dirt. Losing it there behind the plate is Done. He tried to pick at it, and it was under his legs, and that allowed the Commodores to advance Redfield to third.
Mazzana's over there at first saying just never really saw it right away and just a little frustrated with himself, but now you've got that runner there and a chance to bring him in here. It's a big spot.
A base hit would get the Doors on the board here. Miller still 1 strike away from getting out of the inning. The deuce is wild. The 2-2 pitch, swing and a miss, goes with another changeup. And Miller gets himself out of a little bit of a jam there to retire the side. Hyannis bats coming up as we get ready for the top of the 4th here on the Commodores Radio Network. It remains 2-0 here for Hyannis, getting ready for the 4th inning here. But around the Cape, more action continues. Destiny Sanchez has the update.
Thanks, Matt. The Cotuit Kettleers defeated the Orleans Firebirds 5-2. The Wareham Gatemen lead the Brewster Whitecaps 8-2 in the bottom of the 6th. The Harwich Mariners and the Bourne Braves are tied at 3-3 at the top of the 7th. And the YD Red Sox lead the Chatham Anglers 7-3 at the bottom of the 2nd.
Thank you for that, Destiny. The ones that matter most in that conversation there involve the West Division. We know what's going on here. But the Gatemen and the Whitecaps, as we talked about, that'll be one to keep an eye on. And Cotuit, they made quick work of the Commodores relatively quickly. But since then, they've been in some tight games, but they did pull away against Orleans earlier.
Yeah, and a nice job for Cotuit because some of these teams towards that middle of the pack are starting to try and chase them down towards the top. I mean, you've got Wareham that looks like they're going to win again tonight, and that'll push them up towards 15 points. Actually, that would put Wareham at 16 points. And then you've got Bourne and Hyannis that are both in games right now. Hyannis in front. They could get to 15, and so Cotuit just trying to keep pace and keep that breathing room away. And Falmouth really needs to get things going to try and stay in this race.
Uncharted territory now for Carson Montgomery, who begins his 4th inning of work for Falmouth. Had not gotten out of the 3rd inning in his previous 2 starts. Now he begins working here. First pitch in the dirt for a ball. Fires a fastball. It's cut on and missed. A nice pitch there from Montgomery.
Yeah, Done wanted that one, but Montgomery did a nice job blow it by him. Big walk and a couple of deep breaths there from Done before getting back in the box.
Out of the full line, the 1-1 from Carson. This one missing inside to Done. The backstop tonight behind the plate. Sharp line drive out to right last time up. That was back in the 1st inning of play. 2-1. Fastball low and away, taken. And it's a 3-1 hitters count now for the Harbor Hawks.
Got to be careful here, but you need to attack the zone still if you're Montgomery. Trust your defense to make a play.
Montgomery fires a fastball. This one's lined out there to left. Bazana dives and can't get there. Done turning on the Jets as now Bazana looks over his rearview mirror to grab it. Done pulling up at second base. So his layout effort will only result in a double to lead off the inning.
Hyannis with a leadoff man aboard in all 4 frames so far. 3 of those by way of the extra base hit. You can't start innings any better than Hyannis is doing tonight.
Certainly making Montgomery and the Falmouth Arms work a little bit here. But the Doors offensively, already 3 hits in this ball game to the 4 now of Hyannis. So getting traffic on the bases as we were just talking about in the previous half inning. And now Montgomery takes on the next man to bat. He pops it up. Highfield might have a play on it. Instead, Snell will call him off. And Elijah Hainline tried to lay one down, and he can't put it in play. That's the first out.
And that's really big. We saw that in the last inning as well. Cam Smith tried to bunt one. He popped it up. Highfield couldn't get to it. That one landed foul. And then we had the ground ball that moved that runner up to third. Right now, you're in a better spot.
So a big first out there picked up for the Doors. Looking for the sign is Montgomery, and now he comes set out of the stretch. The leg kick, fastball inside, swung on and missed. It actually was fouled just a little bit as it got away from Highfield. Just barely getting a piece of it there was Will Taylor. 0-1.
Will Taylor, 2-sport athlete at Clemson, football and baseball.
That's right. I remember us talking about that last time. The pitch here, another fastball, and it's cut on again and sent straight back to the screen. And Montgomery, the quick pop out, and now this ahead 0-2.
If you can finish off this at bat, it would be a real big boost for Montgomery.
Carson comes set, 2 fastballs in this at bat. We'll see what he goes to here. He looks back to Done. This one's chopped right on top of the plate and then over everyone's head behind the plate there. And we'll do the 0-2 again.
Got one Seminole on the mound right now for the Doors and a Seminole warming in the bullpen for Hyannis. It's Jamie Arnold.
You talk about the stamina from those closers. That could be the day for Miller. Fastball here, sent foul towards the dugout of Hyannis.
Good battle here from Taylor. See if Montgomery tries to waste one here and get a chase in an 0-2 count after a few foul balls, but got to be careful. Highfield's got to be a wall back there because you do not want to move that runner up to third base with less than 2 outs.
Montgomery again ahead 0-2, trying to find the put away. Gave him the breaking ball. It stayed upstairs and in. At 86 on the gun, 1-2.
It's not a bad pitch.
Just almost like a show me it kind of pitch there, just working it up and in.
And you can play off that with a fastball here, or you can play off the slider away.
Goes with option number 2, a check down to first. Did he go? No, he did not. So it's 2-2, but that looked to be that slider low and away, as you mentioned, Zach. Montgomery was ahead 0-2. A couple of fastballs fouled off. Now a little bit of leverage from Will Taylor, who's worked the count even. The 2-2 slowed it down with that slider again low and away, and it's a full count, 3-2. A great battle working here by Will Taylor.
It is, and now you got to think that Taylor's going to get the fastball here because Montgomery needs to locate this pitch.
It's been his best pitch so far, although it has been put in play several times. He slows it down, swing and a miss. Went with that slider. Trusted Ross Highfield there on going back with the breaking stuff, and a massive second out for Montgomery on the mound.
Really good pitch. Get yourself in a good spot. Now you got to get Mitchell. Really good season at Western Illinois this year. Was with YD, released, and immediately picked up by Hyannis. And this guy can swing it. He's transferring out of Western Illinois. He's going to get picked up somewhere and continue to play really well. One of the best pure hitters in the country.
The Commodores saw him as a late add into the extra inning game against YD on the road, the 4-4 tie. On second. back in the 10th, came around to score the run for YD, which ended up being the equalizer and ending that game 4-4.
Yeah, he's quick, especially out of the left-handed batter's box.
In there for some cuts now today. Lined out to Gavin Keelan for his first opportunity. Slider here never came back to the lefty. It stayed up and away. 2-1 now for Montgomery.
Yeah, trying to go to the back door, see if he could catch that edge, get himself ahead, but got to work from behind in the count now.
2 runs for Hyannis. Only 1 base runner stranded. Couple of nice plays from Ross Highfill on a throw out, and then a sacrifice brought in the second run in the previous inning. Swing and a miss. Good slider low and in to the left-handed bat of Mitchell, and it's 2-2. Trying to strand the leadoff double from Done here is Carson Montgomery, again working into the 4th inning now. He comes set on the mound. The 2-2. Looking to frame the outside. It's left for a ball. That was a slider. And the count is now full at 3-2.
Quite a few pitches already for Montgomery, but also quite a few pressure pitches. With these leadoff base runners, almost everything has been a pressure pitch from Montgomery.
Most certainly a different spot here now with a left-handed back and trying to get that swing and a miss at the slider away from the righties. We'll see what he goes here to the lefty. The pitch goes with that slider, low and away, swing and a miss. Carson Montgomery strands the leadoff double and has found a couple of strikeouts to go along with his effort today. Not too bad through 4th, but the Commodores got to figure out offensively, trailing by 2 here on the Commodores Radio Network. New pitcher on the mound. Zach's going to tell us who it is here as Simon Miller's day has come to an end.
Yeah, Jamie Arnold out of Florida State, just finished up his freshman year. The Seminoles, he's 0-1 on the season for the Harbor Hawks. This is already his 6th appearance, a 2.07 ERA. His last appearance, though, was his longest appearance and the one that raised the ERA to 2.07, albeit. But 4 innings pitched in a 6-1 loss to Catuity. Got the loss. 2 runs on 2 hits, 1 walk, 3 strikeouts. Sidearm lefty going to be tough here for this part of the order with 4 straight lefties due up for the doors.
Simon Miller, 3 innings, gave up 3 hits, only walked 1. He struck out 4. Pretty good day of work for a guy who's normally used as a closer to start the ball game off, with Gavin Keelan in the box now. Comes set on the mound. Pitch on the way. A check swing. Did Keelan go? No, he did not. Look down to Ryan DeMare, evening this count at 1.
Watch for the two-seam type action on a fastball here. It's going to come in on the hands of those left-hand hitters, be really tough.
Keelan watches that one at 89 come back into him left on left, and it's 1-2. The leg kick This one's chopped on the ground along the first base line. Kelly's got a play on it, and the flip on over to Arnold in time. It's a 3-1 putout to begin the ball game for Jamie Arnold, one away.
Just not a comfortable swing there from Keelan with 2 strikes, just trying to do anything he can to put the ball in play. He's got pretty good speed, so chopping one on the ground is not necessarily the worst thing that he could do, and he made it close, but not going to get it on that one.
First pitch there to Martin, off the plate and away. Christian trying to get back after that ground ball out to the shortstop, Hainline. That's what he did back in the second inning. It's a 1-1 count now. Arnold out of the full wind. Sidearm delivery, and this one's chopped foul. Looked like another fastball. That one's at 90 from that low arm slot. 1-2 now to Christian Martin. Couple shakes of the head. Lift of the leg, and now the fire. It's a fastball upstairs. Good take from Martin, 2-2. The 2-2 pitch off the plate, up and away. Looked to be 79 right there on the off speed. Now Christian Martin's worked this count full. Couple shakes of the head from Arnold. The tall presence there on the mound now brings the glove to his face, and the full wind. The 3-2 pitch was a fastball up and away to Martin, and it's a walk. So a nice battle back by the second baseman of Falmouth, and he's on. Another base runner for the Doors here with one away.
Just continuing to get men on the bases, but just unable to bring them around to this point. Want to change that here. Snell's been pretty good at putting the ball in play. We'll see if he can do it again. Try and get something through that left side maybe and out into left field. Give yourself a chance.
So now it's Cade Snell. Had a base hit on a line drive off of the leg of Simon Miller. Miller was okay after that, but it got away from him towards the foul line of third base, allowing Snell to reach. Takes another fastball here. It's 0-2 quickly to the first baseman of the Doors. Arnold comes set now out of the stretch, contending with the runner of Martin. Pitch here, runs away to the lefty. The first ball of the AB. Couple swings of his bat from Snell, awaiting for Arnold to come set. Now he does. The pitch, this one's chopped, and it's caught on a line. And it was actually a foul ball. It looks like it was tough to see from our angle here behind home plate here. It chopped high because it hit off what looked to be the plate there. And it's a foul ball.
Yeah, just a nice job by Amick to get to it, but couldn't jump in front. And Joe Gravina was looking directly down that line there from his home plate angle and immediately said foul.
Martin extends his lead. Snell thought about it, left it upstairs, and the count's evened up at 2.
Really nice take there. That one is moving away from you because of that arm slot, and so able to leave it off.
Swing and a miss. Gave him a breaking ball there inside of the lefty. The second out of the inning is Jamie Arnold's first strikeout of the day.
Yeah, really nice slide piece there. Starts over and breaks away, and Snell couldn't lay off of it there. It was in the same spot as that last fastball, just a little bit slower, and he thought it was going to hang in.
Going on the first pitch is Martin. The throw from Done on a hop. Hops into the outfield. Martin thought about going but lost his footing. He's got to dive back to second. And now a base hit from Humphreys can certainly bring in Martin.
And Martin slipping there may not have been the worst thing. Taylor's got a really good arm out there in center, and he was to that baseball pretty quickly, and so the slip allows him to stay at second base.
And that's where he stays right now. Slider here taken low and away from Humphreys, evening the count at 1. Yeah, I think Martin, like you said, is probably for the better. And maybe he could have just been rounding the bag aggressively, drawing the throw into third. The 1-1, Humphreys popped it up. Charging hard for it is Taylor. He's going to call everyone off. Settles on it running to his right, into right center. And just like that, an opportunity again with that walk from Falmouth stranded. The Doors have stranded already 5 in this ball game. Still looking for their first run today. It's 2-0 as we go to the 5th here on the Commodores Radio Network. Carson Montgomery towing the rubber here in warm-ups for his 5th inning of work. The longest we've seen Montgomery here this summer in Falmouth. 4 hits, given up 2 runs. The leadoff home run, obviously, from Cam Smith. But since then, he's gotten in a couple of jams of those leadoff extra base hits, partner. But he's really done a nice job of settling in and finding ways out of these innings.
Yeah, and if he can get through this inning, put up another 0 on the board here, you really got to feel good about what you got from him. If you get 5 innings of just 2 runs.
Now, he started 9 games this year at Florida State, 45 innings. So not maybe the longest amount of, maybe I would say, reps for a starter, you know, in terms of just getting a couple opportunities. Again, 9 starts, 16 total appearances. So one of those hybrid guys, as we've seen here in the Cape League. You can start and you might be used in the bullpen or vice versa.
And I was talking to Logan Van Treek earlier for an episode of Behind Closed Doors. You can check that out tomorrow. But he was talking a little about that. And the big thing that he talked about was, he talked about it more on the offensive side, but when you're in college ball, there's 1 through 9. On the Cape, everybody 1 through 9 is a top of the order guy. It's the same thing with the pitchers. Every starter that's out here is really good, and so some of those guys have to come out of the bullpen because there's just not enough starts.
The 0-1, a fastball at the belt, up and in. Called for another strike. It actually looked to be some sort of front door slider, I believe, actually. It was slowed down just a bit. Montgomery ahead, 0-2, the pitch. This one's the fastball at 93, up and in. Left up there by Zach Earhart. Struck out swinging to end the 2nd inning. And now Montgomery again, the full wind. Got him to swing at the fastball. This one's up over our heads and foul. So we will do the 1-2 once more from Carson Montgomery, who has settled in rather nicely here for Falmouth, trying to find some consistency from starting arms. Should he finish the 5th, he would join A.J. Causey as the only 2 starters to make it through that long of a ball game. The 1-2 from Montgomery slows it down, and it's fouled off the screen.
It's just a different ball game now. Guys aren't throwing as many innings as they used to. I mean, it's been all the way back to 2012, the last time we saw a complete game from a Falmouth pitcher. You don't see guys throwing 200 innings at the major league level anymore, and it's kind of trickled its way down as well.
Pitch number 64 coming up from Montgomery, who's through a little over 4 innings now. Slows it down, and this one's lined and foul. Down the third base line, DeBarge gave it a good running effort into foul territory, and once again, some good battles being worked by the Harbor Hawks, and again, the 1-2.
And that one going foul's got to hurt for Earhart. He thought he had his first hit of the summer. A really good hitter, has started 0 for 20 on the Cape, and so he was thinking extra bases on that first hit and just couldn't keep it fair down the line.
Looking for the sign. Montgomery now comes set out of the full wind with nobody on base. The 1-2 spikes the fastball, picked out of the ground by Highfill. But again, a pretty good crowd here tonight on a Monday evening of baseball. 9 games in 9 days. Off day tomorrow for everybody. The 2-2 gave him a half swing. Yes, he did. Another strikeout for Carson Montgomery, who's been rolling along here a little bit. That's his 4th punch-out.
And it's 3 straight. He's settled in, as you mentioned, Matt, just finding his way through these last few hitters and trying to limit the damage and give his offense a chance to try and come to life here.
Has not been able to, until this point, to put away the leadoff batter. Does so successfully there, and now it looks to be another one of those sliders cut on and missed again. With the bottom of the order, Brad Kilari in there. Had a double to lead off the 3rd. He came around to score on it because of the Austin Kelly sacrifice to right field. The 0-1, fastball sent straight back. And right now, Montgomery's in cruise control. Back-to-back ABs ahead, 0-2.
And that's what you want to see. And Mike Landry talks about that a lot. Efficiency in attacking the zone, get ahead in the count, then you're in control.
Blows the hot stuff past him, strike 3 swinging. Strikeout number 5, and 4 consecutive for the right arm out of Florida State. 2 gone.
Just continuing to work through. Now he's got to face his collegiate teammate, and Smith already got the better of him once. We'll see what he does here.
Cam Smith with that leadoff bomb, now in there for the 3rd time tonight. First pitch hunting there is late on it, sending it foul.
And he's been hunting on that first pitch, all 3 ABs. Homered on the first pitch in the last at-bat, and then back-to-back foul balls in his last 2.
The Commodores mixing it up today with their black road jerseys on at home here against the Hyannis blue jerseys here on the road. Fastball taken, strike 2 called. And again, Montgomery, every batter he's seen this inning, behind nothing in 2. He put away the previous on 3 pitches. He's looking to do the same here against Smith. Out of the full line, the pitch blows the fastball, but this one's lined straight back to center. Diving out in center, can't come up with it as Humphreys. He goes back to the wall to get it. Cam Smith rounding second on his way to third. The cut to Keelan, a big throw in. Did they get him in time? Yes, they did. Cam Smith got a little greedy on his teammate from Florida State, and he's gunned down. The relay worked out perfectly, and the bases are stranded as we're done with 5. Falmouth bats got to get going. That could be the momentum this team is needed. No one comes in to score there despite that 2-out double. But again, getting a little too weary was Smith, who's gunned down at third. The game remains 2-0 here on the Commodores Radio Network. Bottom of the 5th, there's a new pitcher on the mound for Hyannis. The third arm we've seen tonight. It's Jake Driver out of Harvard.
Yeah, Driver making his 3rd appearance for the Harbor Hawks. One of them a start, one out of the bullpen. This is also out of the bullpen, and he's been spectacular. 7 innings pitched, no runs, just 2 hits, 9 strikeouts to 3 walks. Had a little bit of an up and down year at Harvard. 3-3 record, 4.41 ERA. Gave up 45 runs, but only 33 of them earned, and then the 69 strikeouts to 29 walks. Harvard, he was with Hyannis a year ago as well, and worked some solid stuff, but been outstanding so far here in go-around number 2 on the Cape.
Certainly can't hate the effort today from Carson Montgomery. We'll see if he keeps going after 5, but 5 innings, 5 hits. 2 runs after that leadoff bomb, but really settled in, and then ended the ball game on 4 consecutive strikeouts before that double that then got turned into a throw out at third from Cam Smith.
And a really nice relay there, and a nice job by Humphreys to get up after diving, get it into Keelan quickly, and then the quick hands to fire him out.
And Cam Smith, halfway to second base, his helmet was getting ready to fly off. He knew that he was going to be headed to third, and great recovery by the Commodores defense. And now he's going to try to be picked up by the offense here. With Walker Yannick leading it off, he grounded out to the third baseman last time up. Billy Amick over there, the 0-1. Yannick pops it up just out of the infield, a chase by both middle infielders now. And the shortstop hairline will call off the second baseman Lowry for the first out.
Seen a lot of that from the doors, a lot of pop-ups and a lot of not great contact against these pitchers. Hyannis mixing it up here. We'll see how many more times they mix and match. They got a lot of guys sitting down in that bullpen.
And the Commodores have had a couple of pop-outs today, but they've certainly made the middle infield communicate a little bit out there when they're running out to shallow part of the outfield, whether it be left center, short center, even right center. Redfield now in there for the second time tonight. Had a base hit last time, made it all the way over to third, was stranded there. He and Bazana, after back-to-back guys reaching base, were stranded in that third inning of Falmouth. This pitch here by Driver, spiked in the dirt, 1-1.
The wind is gusting out to left center, which you would think is good for hitters, and it can be, but a lot of left-handed hitters in this lineup for Falmouth, and so they're not taking advantage of it as much as Hyannis, which is loaded with 7 left-handed hitters in the lineup.
Redfield a little late on this one. He sends it slicing foul towards the fans gathered along the visiting side.
Yeah, a fan just stopped that with his foot. I don't know that I would have tried that, especially not with some support right behind it. Just let it go off the thing. Don't risk your foot for it.
Redfield behind 1-2. The pitch from Driver looked like he dropped the breaking ball in there beautifully, and it was a little low, according to Joe Gravina. 2-2.
Yeah, good take by Redfield. That was tight, but survives to see another pitch.
Has a chance here with Driver out of the full line, accepting the sign from Done behind the plate. The pitch, swing and a miss. That looked to be the breaking ball as well. 2 up, 2 down quickly for Falmouth, 2 out.
That was a filthy slider from Driver there. Starts it over the heart and a lot of late movement. Got Redfield out in front of it and swung right through it.
Already the 6th victim for the Commodores set down on strikes. Antoine Jean warming up in the bullpen for Falmouth. The arm out of Alabama. We'll see if he comes in right away or if they like a matchup with Montgomery before they would go to Jean. First pitch here inside to Bazana. Sent actually straight back to the screen there as it almost got him. 1-0.
A lot of good bullpen arms available today for the Doors.
Pitch from Driver. Looked like that slider again, trying to find the middle part of the zone in the lower third, and it's left down there. Nice pitch to take from Bazana, 1-1. Had a really sharp line drive out in the first inning to right field and then walked last time. He's late on this one, saying something to himself after he missed that one.
And he's been in good counts so far. He got ahead in the count and then worked that full count battle before the line out, and then last time got ahead 3-1 and worked the walk.
2 balls and a strike. This one's down in the dirt to Bazana, and now looking at a 3-1 count with 2 away.
Once again, third straight at bat with a 3-ball count to Bazana. He's working and making these pitchers really work to get him out. That's what you want from a guy at the top of the order.
Driver trying to get back into this count. Bazana has other ideas. The 3-1, this one spiked in the dirt. Never had a chance, and it's a 2-out walk worked by Falmouth, bringing up Kyle DeBarge.
Yet another base runner. They've had one in every inning, just haven't been able to bring anybody around.
The closest man was Redfield, as we talked about a second ago. He made it all the way to third, 90 feet away from being the run that would cut the deficit in half. Still trailing 2-0 here for just joining us here from Guv Fuller Field. So now out of the stretch is Driver. First pitch, low and away, fastball for a strike. We want to thank you for joining us here on the radio. Here from home, calling it on the radio because the guys at Nesson here for a back-to-back in Cape League showcase games and regional cable television from Nesson. Going on the run is Bazana. The throw is airmailed by a mile into right center. Bazana got up and easily, even though he slides, will get into third. And now suddenly a gift given to the Commodores. A 1-1 count with Bazana all the way to third.
Yeah, that throw was never on line there from Done. Just tried to throw it without coming out of the crouch and completely pulled himself, threw that ball into right center.
A mistake nonetheless from the backstop out of Virginia Tech. And the Commodores get lucky.
Can they take advantage now?
Driver set, delivers the pitch, and the offering's in there for a strike. Slowed it down on DeBarge. And even with that chaos, suddenly another strike away are the Harbor Hawks from avoiding trouble from Falmouth. 4 straight innings of the Commodores just being one more hit away from getting on the board, and a big spot to them now. The pitch, that's a slider low and away. This time Done keeps it in front of him. You got speed over there at third base, so anything straight back, you'd have to imagine Bazana, you'd like his odds to get in here back to home. Driver leaning over his shoulder for the sign. He comes set now, brings the glove up towards his head. Lifts the leg and the pitch. It's a fastball sent straight back by Bazana. Just barely got a piece of it.
Just keeping himself alive. That's exactly what you want if you're DeBarge up at the plate.
Trying to find a way here are the Commodores to just scratch one across home plate here with Bazana on third. The 2-2 offering from Driver. On a line, on the ground. That's going to be a base hit into left. Kyle DeBarge comes up huge for the Commodores. Easily into scores. Bazana and a 2-out base hit with the help of a throwing error behind the plate. Cut the lead in half for Falmouth.
You got a chance to keep moving now. Brought yourself back in. You got to run across. Can you add to it?
The fourth hit of the night, the biggest in some set of days here for the Falmouth Bats, it seems like. And now you have Highfill stepping in as the go-ahead run here in the fifth.
Yeah, I'm really looking for Highfill to try and stay through a slider and try and push it the other way because he's going to get a heavy dose of them again.
Going first pitch is DeBarge. Good one to go on. It got away from Done again. And now a base hit could tie the game. It was a check swing by Highfill, and calling it for a strike with Joe Gravina. They didn't even look down to either corner. That one was certainly a ball. Highfill couldn't help himself. He can make up for it here, though, with something through the ground and into the outfield. The 0-1. Fastball up and away, taken by Highfill, 1-1.
Yeah, Ross hasn't seen a fastball in the zone the entire game so far. They know he can hit the fastball really well.
Couple of hits from Highfill since, he had that 2-run home run last time these two faced off. That was the last big swing from Highfill.
That was a really good take. I like that take on that slider. You're able to lay off it. You're not going to do much with it besides send it straight into the ground in that location. So really good job to lay off that.
Driver checks DeBarge at second. Now fires a fastball up and away. 3-1 now to Ross Highfill. Gavin Keelan's on deck. Should they get to him? But certainly,
if you're Highfill and you want more fastballs, this is the way to do it. Get ahead in the count. See if you can mash one here.
He's got a spot for one here. We'll see if Driver gives him. It is the fastball inside, and Highfill sends it straight back. A nice pitch getting it under the hands. And the count is now full with 2 out. Already 1 in for Falmouth because of an RBI knock from Kyle DeBarge. He now stands on second. Driver in relief of Jamie Arnold. First 2 men he saw, it was a pop out to the shortstop and then a swinging strikeout from Redfield. This is a slider. It's cut on and missed on a full count pitch. The Commodores go down there, but 1 run does come across. A 1-run ball game as we move on to the 6th. Zach Serdenik will take it from here on the play-by-play with Falmouth chasing 1 here on the Commodores Radio Network.
Antoine Jean taking over for the Doors in the top of the 6th in a 2-1 ball game against Hyannis from Guv Fuller Field. Zach Serdenik alongside Matt Venezia and Destiny Sanchez. McKenna Wall helping us out on the graphics today. Glad you guys tuned in and can catch some Doors on the radio from Guv Fuller with Nesson here for night 2 of their back-to-back showcase games. They're getting a pretty good game tonight and a really good outing from Carson Montgomery, Matt.
Yeah, Carson looked real good. Those 5 innings, we talked about it on opening the door, and we talked about it throughout this broadcast. Hadn't really seen a lot of length out of him, the arm out of Florida State. We know he's capable with those 4 to 5 pitches he likes to go to, but this was the outing I was really expecting from him, and recovered from and again, the first pitch he throws of this game, trying to get himself together after the draft combine, and it's over the left field wall. I mean, that can be really demoralizing. He comes back with striking out 4 of the last 5 batters he faces, keeps this game right in line for this offense to pick him up here a little bit, as it's now a 2-1 game in the 6th.
2-3-4 coming to the plate against Antoine Jean. That means we'll have a lefty-lefty matchup and some familiar faces with Austin Kelly stepping in from that left side. 0 for 1, a line out and a sac fly to this point. Digs in and holds that bat tight to that left shoulder. Jean, the lefty, working from the windup. First pitch, check swing, foul ball off the knob of the bat of Kelly, and it's 0-1.
Yeah, the last time we saw Antoine was a week ago exactly against this Hyannis team. Gave up those runs, though, after the Commodores had themselves in a position there. They ended up losing in that rain situation.
Jean goes right back off speed and quickly ahead in the count 0-2. Kelly got the best of Jean in that situation, had the game-tying double. Jean works first base side from the windup. The 0-2, quick pitched it, dropped in a fastball that missed low, and it's a 1-2 count. Infield deep across the diamond, a couple of steps shifted toward the right side. 1-2, breaking ball, chopped foul. Another 1-2 upcoming, and now with 2 strikes again, it's a bigger shift here for Falmouth. Second baseman Martin playing in shallow right field. Gavin Keelan playing almost at second base position. The shortstop, and DeBarge playing in the shortstop spot against Kelly. The 1-2, slider stays high, evens up the count 2-2.
Partner, the biggest thing I noticed from Montgomery, no walks in his outing today. Just was really solid. That was his knack through this part of the season, the free passes, and he certainly took care of that today.
The 2-2, sliced foul, and Austin Kelly continuing to stay alive. He hasn't had a ton of success so far on the Cape to this point. He's looking at himself with a 1 for 17 batting average between the two sides, down below 100. But at the end of the day, he had really good numbers at Lipscomb, has a lot of pop in that bat. Fouls back, breaking ball from Jean. He reached for it and flipped it back over the press box here at Guv Fuller Field. Another 2-2.
Yeah, I talked to him before the game. He was thinking he was only going to be with Hyannis for a week, just trying to get a few more looks before going back home and getting ready for a potential draft situation.
2-2 fastball misses low, and Kelly's worked back to a full count. Hyannis got the leadoff man aboard in each of the first 4 frames before Montgomery changed that in the 5th. 3-2 bounces in, and Austin Kelly works all the way back to work a leadoff walk.
So now it's a situation the Commodores haven't had themselves in yet. Is we've seen the leadoff base runner reach, but now it's via free pass. It's through self-inflicted harm. How is Antoine Jean going to be able to find a way to recover through this? And hasn't walked any batters to this point in the year. The damage that Hyannis did against him was 3 hits through those 2 innings that he threw. So a little adversity for Jean here.
A couple of hitters that really hit left-handed pitching well coming up, but a first pitch breaking ball is cut on and missed to start the at-bat to Billy Amick. Clemson Tiger 1 for 2, a single in the first, and popped out back in the 3rd. Steps in from that right side, hands tight to the helmet over that right shoulder. Chopper on the ground left side. DeBarge across to Martin, and the throw gets into right field. Kelly will hold up, but a throwing error takes away what could have been a double play ball, and instead 2 aboard with nobody out.
Yeah, that's tough because Jean, we're talking about him getting some help from his defense there, and how would he handle the adversity? He delivers a really good breaking ball there to roll over Billy Amick in the box. That's tough to do. One of the best hitters in the country here now in the Cape League, and he executed on the mound, but that hurts that your defense not able to come big there, and now you just kind of got to put your head down and forget it didn't, forget it happened and get to work here. Again, more adversity. We'll see if Jean can handle it.
Brody Donay steps up. He doubled in his last at-bat. That led off the 4th, but he was stranded there. Swing and a miss on the first pitch. 3rd straight hitter that Jean has started with a first pitch breaking ball, and he gets ahead in the count once again. Long look back to second. The 0-1 is popped up right side in foul territory. Snell will give way to Christian Martin, who is sprinting over, and it lands just foul as Martin overran it, and it's 0-2.
Austin Kelly either thought that was in fair territory or thought it was caught because he turned on the Jets tagging from second. Now has to walk on back. But again, good stuff here by Antoine to get right back to it. Head down, ahead, 0-2. And again, another ground ball or something here. You could still get those 2 outs and be right back in a comfortable position. But this would be massive here to try to find this first out right here at the plate.
Done widens the stance with 2 strikes. 0-2, tipped into the glove of Ross Highfill. And a punch out of the Harbor Hawks cleanup hitter gets a big out number 1 for Antoine Jean.
Really, really massive here. You see now through the first couple of parts through the order, only 1 strikeout by Hyannis through the first 9. Now since there's already been 5, including this one from Antoine. So clearly the Commodores have learned a thing or two and are calling certain spots. They're getting these hitters, one of the best lineups on the Cape, out in front and making them look silly.
First pitch swinging by Hainline. Humphreys runs in. He'll make the catch on the run for out number 2. 1 pitch to get that out for Antoine Jean.
Hey, that's how you do it. Look, you have a chance to get, the 2 outs. You would have been out of the inning already, but you get the strikeout, you deliver a good pitch, get the batter to pop it up, and that's what happens there from Hainline. And Will Taylor was hit by a pitch in the second, struck out last time. A tough bat here, obviously. We've talked about him and his dual sport abilities, but Antoine Jean, credit to him. He's 1 out away, really 1 pitch away from getting back in the dugout for a massive spot for Falmouth.
Taylor 0-for-1 was hit by a pitch in the second, struck out against Montgomery in the fourth. Takes a curveball low and in. Big bender there from Antoine Jean. Tall lefty working his way back from injury this summer. Missed the season at Alabama. Rocks himself set at the chest. High leg kick, 1-0. Fastball low and in. It's quickly 2-0. Native of Montreal, Quebec. Jean looking in, get the sign from Ross Highfill. Kelly's at second. He led off the inning with that walk, and then Billy Amick over at first after the fielder's choice. The 2-0 misses low, and it's quickly 3-0 to Will Taylor.
Well, look, not a lot of harm here right now. You have there is no base open, but you do have a lefty on deck. 3-0 count. They could be swinging green light here. You just have to be careful with what you deliver.
3-0 goes the curveball for a called strike. Snaps it off at the knees of Taylor, and it's a 3-1 count. Infield deep across the diamond with 2 away. Outfield playing Taylor straight up. 5 for 25 start the summer for Taylor. The 3-1 goes right back to the breaking ball, gets another called strike, and Jean battles back. It's now full.
Well, it's tough to throw 3 straight breaking balls like that. His hang a little bit, too. You got to be very weary. Could go to either of the 2 pitches here.
Payoff is the breaking ball. It's sent right back to the screen. And another 3-2 earned by Will Taylor.
So it was the breaking ball. I got to say that one was up a little bit. Will Taylor certainly could have turned on that one. If you're going to throw it again, you want it to be a strike. You don't have room really to tempt him with one in the dirt.
Another payoff, swing and a miss. Antoine Jean fired up as he gets himself out of the jam. We head to the bottom of the 6th. It's a 2-1 ball game from Guv Fuller Field. Bottom of the 6th inning, Falmouth trying to tie this game up. It's a 2-1 ball game from Guv Fuller Field, but before we get back to the action, a message from Destiny Sanchez.
Thanks, Zach. The Cape Cod Baseball League is hosting a hot stove event on July 12th to benefit the Bring Back the Hall campaign. The panel will feature Cape League Hall of Famers Peter Gammons and Ron Darling, as well as former Red Sox pitcher and Jim Lonborg. The event will be held at Moose Lodge in South Yarmouth with doors opening at 6:30 p.m. Tickets are extremely limited with under 100 remaining. Purchase yours today at CapeCodBaseballLeague.org.
Thank you, Destiny. Should be a pretty cool event out there. They're trying to bring back the Cape Cod Baseball Hall of Fame. We got to go out to that area earlier in the year, Matt, and check things out. They seem to have a lot of cool stuff planned.
Yeah, I mean they're building stuff right now in that facility that we were in the Hyannis area, and nice little part of town honoring Cape Leaguers, past, present, potentially even future as well. So it's a nice thing that the league has going, and it's been a whirlwind to be here and to kind of embrace it all. Despite obviously what's been going on the field, the experience for the interns and I guess even to the players of being here in a spot like this to play summer ball in one of the more historic and prestigious summer leagues is certainly something that, aside from the product on the field, you're very grateful and happy about.
5, 6, 7 in the order. Coming up for Falmouth to face Jay Driver. First pitch misses outside to Gavin Keelan. He's ahead in the count now. A pop out and a ground out to this point for the Louisville Cardinal. Big righty driver from the windup. Keelan swinging and fouls back the heater to the screen to even up the count. Keelan trying to get himself back going. Has that slightly open stance from the left side, not too much. Sways back and forth as he awaits the delivery. 1-1 is roped out to center. Taylor going back on it. And now camping under it to make the play. Keelan gave it a ride, but not enough to get out here at Guv Fuller Field, and it's one away.
Yeah, found a pitch over the middle there, and kind of a loopy swing there as that one slowly got into him. Looked like maybe a changeup or something from Driver with that quarter arm slot. But yeah, just got under it, putting Taylor to work out there in center for the first out of the inning.
He's up Christian Martin, who takes fastball high and outside, and he also is ahead in the count 1-0. A couple of steps of a shift for Hyannis. Hainline playing still on the left side of second base, but a few steps closer to it. Hitter for a called strike on the inside edge, evens up the count to Martin. Virginia Tech Hokie 0-for-1 with a walk. Driver in the windup first base side. 1-1. Off speed for a called strike. Snapped that slider in, and it's 1-2. Driver comfortable on the mound. Gets the sign quickly from Donay behind the plate. The 1-2. Goes back to the breaking ball and sits down. Martin looking at the knees. 2 quick outs on the mound for Jay Driver here in the bottom of the 6th.
Yeah, it looked like a couple of changeups there inside of the lefty, and Martin didn't really move the bat a whole lot in that at-bat. Took those last 2 in there for a strike, and that's tough.
Already 3 strikeouts for Driver. Trying to go backdoor to Cade Snell, but couldn't catch the corner. It's 1-0. Snell has one of the 4 hits to this point for Falmouth. Skies that one on the infield. Hainline in shallow left will make the play for out number 3. A 1-2-3 bottom of the 6th. For Driver, we head to the 7th. 2-1. Hyannis in front on the Commodores Radio Network. After a quick bottom of the 6th inning, Antoine Jean right back to the mound, trying to get back to work and keep the deficit at 1. On a nice night for baseball, 71 degrees here at Guv Fuller Field. Under the lights in Falmouth, a later start time due to the Nesson Showcase game. A 7 o'clock first pitch tonight, but Even with the threats of weather, it's turned into a great day to be at the ballpark.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. It was something we were weary about. We got the tent set up just in case, but no, it's turned out to be a nice night for baseball. The wind gustling just a little bit. Would like to see the Commodores here find a way. Just keep putting up the zeros by the bullpen. The pitching's been very, very good today. And the offense just still creeping at the door, just about to get ready to knock it down. They've had some good looks today with runners on base and haven't quite been able to bring everyone they've had loaded up there in.
Bottom third of the order for the Harbor Hawks, Nick Mitchell, Zach Earhart, and Brad Keylori. Once again, starting backwards, going to the curveball, but missed it high and tight to Mitchell. 0 for 2 days so far. The Harbor Hawks outfielder. Fastball, chopped right side. Jean rushing for it. Scoop it up, backhand flip. Is in time. Mitchell went airborne. Comes down hard, but he'll get himself up. And one away here in the top of the 7th, but not without some circus movements from Nick Mitchell.
Well, they tell you baseball is not a contact game and that there aren't athletes out here. Well, that was pretty athletic right there. Antoine Jean on that slow chopper tight to the first base line, had to jump off the mound and not only receive it running on the backhand, but then the audacity to still have the ability to flip it. And when you have a hard charging base runner like Mitchell there trying to, with his speed, he's certainly going to try to leg that out. He was pretty aware there too, had to show off his acrobats there and avoid contact with Snell.
Off speed misses outside, went to the slider there, trying to catch the back corner to Zach Earhart. 0 for 2 with a pair of punch outs to this point. Both of those coming against Montgomery. First time he'll see Antoine Jean. Right back to the same pitch. This time it stayed up. According to home plate umpire Joe Gravina. It's a 2-0 count to Earhart. Jean takes a deep breath and goes into the wind. The 2-0. Right back to it. This time does catch the zone for a called strike. A lot more off-speed stuff than fastballs we've seen from Jean so far, Matt.
Yeah, I mean, he's using it to his advantage. He's gotten swings and misses. He's gotten slow choppers.
2-1. Off-speed, appeal down, no swing, says Darren Tyson down the first base line. Tyson was the home plate umpire a couple of days ago when the Doors took on Chatham in Veterans Field. Now down that first base line here tonight. 3-1 swing, and Earhart ropes one foul down that right field line. And Jean battled back. It's a full count.
Yeah, really good job to get back in the count here. Now you have a chance to set up a full count spot. And, we've seen the breaking ball help him get battled back into counts. He's got a good look at it here.
The payoff pitch. Pop foul out of play, and we'll see another 3-2. Jean trying to win the battle against the Oklahoma State Cowboy at the plate in Zach Earhart. Southpaw delivers the 3-2. High pop-up out to right field. Redfield over to make the play, calling off Nate Humphreys for out number 2.
Well, again, Antoine Jean showing us his ability to work back through some tough situations there. He shows us right there after running down to make that crazy play from that 1-3 put out to then be down in the count, battle back. And he does it here. And again, this pitching has done a tremendous job here recently for Falmouth. Right now, 6 consecutive set down. And that's a trend you like to see here when your offense is needing every bit of help it can get from the guys on the mound.
Brad Keylori digs in, takes the fastball high. Start his at bat, it's 1-0. Jean still working from that windup. Seems comfortable in it in this inning. 1-0, chopped on the ground right side. Snell fields. He'll have to rush to the bag. Dives in time to get Laurie. Jean slipped coming off the mound. Snell says, no problem. I've got this one myself. It's time to stretch. Here from Guv Fuller Field, a 2-1 ball game on the Commodores Radio Network. Now they're all stretched and ready to go here for the bottom of the 7th. Ethan Lanthier getting his stretches in as he takes over from Jay Driver on the mound, who works pretty well, Matt. 2 innings, 1 hit, 1 unearned run, a walk, and 3 strikeouts.
Yeah, Driver did a nice job settling down a little bit. That unearned run is because of the airmail throw behind the plate that eventually on the base hit from DeVarge scored Joe Redfield. But now you look at another arm coming in. I mean, this pitching staff from Hyannis, they can throw the baseball a little bit. They're going to go to Ethan Lanthier now, the righty. His 5th appearance, a 1.58 ERA already on the summer. Thrown 5 2/3 innings, 10 strikeouts to only 3 walks. Lanthier out of St. Cloud State, certainly capable up there in the Midwest region and, playing good baseball over there and carrying that over here to the Cape League.
8-9-1 for the Doors. Nate Humphreys, Walker Yannick, and Joe Redfield, with Travis Bazzana looming after that, if anyone's able to reach. Lanthier works exclusively from the stretch. Humphrey squares the bunt, pulls back. A fastball high and tight sends him spinning out of the way. And a 1-0 count. The Dallas Baptist Patriot has that hunched over stance from the left side. Swinging on the fastball, fouls it back to the screen, evens up the count. It's 1-1.
Well, the big thing now is at Falmouth, your pitching's helped you out. You're at the top of the order, about to be. Can you respond in this inning? Can you keep the momentum working towards your way?
Pulled the string there, but couldn't catch the zone with the off-speed pitch. It's 2-1. Lanthier working first base side, high leg kick. Fastball fouled back off of Donay to the screen. And it's a 2-2 count awaiting Nathan Humphreys.
That doesn't always feel great behind the plate. Getting one redirected off your, whether it be the helmet or chest area like that.
The break even from Lanthier. Breaking ball, strike 3 called. Humphreys knew it right away. Hits that quick turn, heads back to the dugout. Yet another punch out. That's the 9th for the Hyannis staff. And that brings up Walker Yannick.
Yeah, and the last 2 have been looking, too. You look back at Christian Martin's at bat with those, will look to be 3 straight inside breaking balls that he just took there the whole time. Different story here, but again, just looking at that one was Humphreys, leaving a couple of these doors buckled over the last couple of strikeouts.
Fastball to Yannick for a called strike. Starting things off, Walker Yannick 0 for 2 to this point. We've seen him hit the ball pretty well at times over his first week here as a Commodore. Breaking ball went around. Actually did not. The Hyannis dugout thought so. It kind of looked like it from our angle, but Darren Tyson has the best angle down that first base line. He says no swing.
Yeah, the Commodores will certainly take it. Need every bit of break to help you out here and getting the offense going.
Definitely went around on that one, though. A curveball bounced in again, and Yannick with a full swing this time. It's 1-2.
That wasn't particularly close either. Way out in front of that one. He's just stepping out and talking to himself after that. Was looking for something else there and kind of just had to finish the follow-through on that poor cut.
Lanthier lifts the leg. The 1-2. Fastball gets straight to the backstop. Low and outside, and Donay couldn't get to it. Another 2-2 count.
That's a pitch he was looking for on the previous pitch, but this one nowhere near, so a nice job to stay honest up there. And now you've worked yourself a spot where the pitcher's probably got to throw you a strike. And we've seen a couple buckled batters in Falmouth on the breaking stuff. You could go to either here.
Break even is a curveball tipped into the glove, and back-to-back strikeouts to start the outing for Ethan Lanthier.
Yeah, he went with the breaking ball there again. I mean, getting a lot of good cuts at that one, whether it be having guys looking and Humphreys or they're swinging. Lanthier showing us why the scouting report is the way it is. Already 2 Ks for him through 2 batters. Already struck out 10 now. Entering this contest, I mean, he's the real deal.
Bottom card flips over. Joe Redfield takes the curveball low and outside. Ahead in the count now 1-0. It was a 2-out walk to Bazzana, and then the stolen base, the error, and then the single that brought him across earlier in the game. Redfield flips one out into left. That'll drop for a single. Yet another 2-out knock for the Doors, and they keep things moving for Travis Bazzana.
Yeah, Redfield just getting out in front of that one and just kind of hoping it falls down in fair territory. It certainly does. No play on it at all from Mitchell. And again, you set yourself a chance for getting base runners going. And Now you have a chance with 2 outs. Again, you're keeping the bats moving. Bazana worked a walk last time, and suddenly that threat became relevant. 2-out magic back in the 5th. Now you have another chance with those same guys up in the same part of the order.
Doors are 3 for 3 on stolen bases tonight as well. We'll see if they put the game in motion here. Fastball up above the letters to Bazana. It's 1-0. Redfield creeping off the back, 3-step lead, being held on by Austin Kelly over at first. Couple looks from Lanthier. The 1-0 swinging. Skies one out of play down the left field line over towards the fans on the hill. Down that left field line. Come out in big numbers with their lawn chairs.
Yeah, for a Monday night too, Zach, it's really good to see a lot of people here at the ballpark. Now we're working slowly into July, and I think more numbers will continue to show out even during games during the week.
1-1. Breaking ball. Bazana lays off it. It's 2-1. Starting to see Travis Bazana look much more comfortable at the plate over these last couple of games.
Yeah, the at-bats have been good. I mean, he lined out on a really hard ball in the first in a full count, a 3-1 walk, and another 3-1 walk today.
And now has yet another 3-1 count as the fastball misses inside. Trying to put that tying run in scoring position here with 2 away in the bottom of the 7th with Kyle DeBarge on deck, who already has a pair of singles. Lanthier rocks himself set. The 3-1, fastball high, and a third walk worked by Travis Bazana. And 2 on with 2 away for Kyle DeBarge.
Well, just like that, Kyle DeBarge had a really good opportunity to succeed today, and he already has with that RBI knock last time up. The hitters ahead of him, Joe Redfield and Bazana, have been the best Commodores tonight, including DeBarge, obviously, with the RBI. They're 5 for 9 ahead of him in giving him spots to come up with guys to bring in, and he did that last time. And now you have another chance here with 2 outs, really, really good sets of at-bats with 2 outs in the previous chance for Falmouth, and now it presents itself again.
First pitch is a front door curveball for a called strike to DeBarge. As Lanthier gets himself ahead in the count. Redfield runs well at second base. Good arms around the outfield, though, for Hyannis. 0-1 breaking ball. DeBarge flips it out into left center. It's going to hang up there for Taylor to run it down. The Doors get 2 aboard with 2 away, but leave them stranded there. Hyannis still in front by 1 as we head to the 8th on the Commodores Radio Network. Antoine Jean back out for the top of the 8th in a 2-1 ball game. This is one of the latest starts on the night for the Cape League, but there's a few more games. A couple of them have gone final. Destiny Sanchez has all the info on that.
Thanks, Zach. The Catuit Cavaliers defeated the Orleans Firebirds 5-2. The Bourne Braves defeated the Harwich Mariners 5-3. The Wareham Gatemen defeated the Brewster Whitecaps 9-2. And the YD Red Sox lead the Chatham Anglers 9-5 in the bottom of the 6th.
Thank you, Destiny. Antoine Jean trying to put another 0 up on the board in that Hyannis scoring category. Hyannis started the game well. A leadoff home run on the first pitch of the game by Cam Smith. He'll lead off this inning here in the 8th. John hoping for a different result than happened back in the first. You also had Brad Gilori starting the 3rd with a double, coming around to score on the Austin Kelly sac fly. And that's how Hyannis got its 2 runs. Falmouth got one back in the 5th. Had a chance there in the bottom of the 7th, but couldn't bring them around, Matt.
Well, they're certainly trying, and it's more, it's really encouraging to see some good at-bats. I don't think we're seeing a lot of that between the Chatham game and the effort yesterday against Harwich, but the numbers don't lie. I mean, Falmouth's certainly trying to get more runs across, but you can't say they aren't trying and at least making it look closer up there in the box, because already at this point, the Doors have stranded 8 base runners through 7 sets of at-bats through the innings, right? So you still have 2 more chances. A lot of guys left on the bases, but they're certainly getting out there, needing that one more swing to bring them in.
Jean working from the windup. First pitch swinging for the 4th straight at bat is Cam Smith. And he fouls it off towards the Commodores dugout. It's 0-1. Cam Smith, Florida State Seminole, designated hitter today. Played infield, played outfield, can do it all for this Harbor Hawks team. Long hold of the leg in the windup for Jean. Fires upstairs, and Smith fouls it back. Quickly ahead in the count, 0-2.
Yeah, really good stuff here from Antoine. And you got to be careful with that go-to breaking ball ahead in the count as the put-away pitch. You can do that. It's got to be down, though. Cam Smith's too good of a hitter.
Couple of shakes from Antoine Jean, the 0-2. Line drive out into right center. That's going to get all the way to the wall on a couple of hops. Smith headed around first. He'll head to second. He was thrown out trying to get to third last time. He'll head it around again. The relay from Keelan this time is not in time. And now Cam Smith's in with a triple, and he is a single away from the cycle, Matt.
Yeah, that's tough because it was that breaking ball, and it was not down at all. Right over the heart of the plate. Nice little swing from Cam Smith, taking that ball the other way into the gap. And when you're looking to get a triple, you want to put it down to right center, anywhere along the right side of the outfield. Got his pitch and easily able to move for extra bases, and early trouble for Antoine here in the 8th.
The 4th leadoff extra base hit for Hyannis in this game, and the infield in for the Doors. Fastball high to Austin Kelly. It's 1-0. There is still a shift on with the infield in. 3 infielders all in on the grass, all on the right side of second base, and then DeBarge over by the shortstop position. Breaking ball misses. It's 2-0.
Yeah, no one knows this guy better than his former teammates who are lining against him now here defensively. Really big spot in this game.
Goes right to the curveball on 2-0. Kelly lays off it. He's way ahead in the count now, 3-0.
Now, partner, we did see Joey Ryan up in the bullpen throwing. You have a righty on deck and Billy Amick. I'm not sure how much longer Antoine will go.
And the 3-0 fastball sends Kelly spinning out of the way. It's a 4-pitch walk, and they're on the corners now with nobody out.
I mean, no harm. You had a base open. Mike Landry remains put there in the dugout, so it appears Antoine John will be throwing to Billy Amick here.
2-1 ball game in the top of the 8th. The Doors stranded a pair in the bottom of the 7th. Hyannis trying to make it hurt here in the top of the 8th. First pitch fastball called strike. Catches the inside edge. Got some cut action to it from the lefty on the rubber, and Jean working from the stretch. Comes set at the chest. High leg kick. Ground ball to short. It's soft. Kelly was thrown out. The relay not in time. Amick beats it out over at first. And an RBI fielder's choice from Billy Amick. Hyannis extends the lead back to 2.
Yeah, the grass took a lot off of that one. It took a while to get to Gavin Keelan. Was really quick on the flip to Christian Martin, but you just had to fire a laser there, and it was a good throw. Amick beating it out by a step. Tough break, and now the call to the bullpen will be made.
Antoine Jean's day is done. Hyannis extends the lead back to 2. It's 3-1. We're still in the top of the 8th here with a new arm entering out of the bullpen. We'll give you the details on him when we come back. 3-1 Hyannis from Guv Fuller Field. Joey Ryan enters for his second appearance of the summer. The Cape League All-Star in 2022 gets back to work here in 2023 with a man aboard and one away in the top of the 8th. He'll relieve Antoine Jean whose line is not yet done. 2 1/3, 1 hit, 2 walks, 2 strikeouts, and responsible for that runner on first. But you like what you've seen from Ryan so far, Matt?
Yeah, 2 1/3. He used all of them against Wareham in the last Commodore win, 12-2, back on June 21st. Gave up 3 hits in that outing, struck out 2 batters, walked a man, and again was used in just a nice opportunity to see him. He had just recently gotten in back to the Cape here, and good adjustment for him to kind of get going. But up by as many runs as the Commodores were, it was a no-brainer to get him in that ball game to finish things off. And now he's got a chance here in a high leverage spot.
And a guy that a lot of people around here are familiar with. Spent his summers in Falmouth growing up. Family moved here a couple of years ago, so very, very familiar with Guv Fuller Field is Joey Ryan. And mentioned the All-Star appearance last year. He was spectacular, a 1.69 ERA, double-digit appearances for the Doors. Trying to give him that same type of production here and get them out of a jam as Brody Donay steps up. 1 for 3. First pitch fastball high. The Virginia Tech Hokie. ACC matchup. Boston College Eagle on the mound and the Hokie in the batter's box. Amick creeping off the bag over at first with a 3-step lead. 1-0, big swing and a miss from Donay. Home run hack, but came up with nothing but air. It's 1-1. Double play depth up the middle for the Doors. Ryan, the quick turn, flip back to first, but Amick dives back in ahead of the tag from Snell. 1-1 count, a 3-1 ball game here in the top of the 8th. Doors trying to keep the damage to 1 run in this inning, get the bats back to the plate. See if they can bring some around here in their last 2 at-bats. 1-1 fastball up. It's a 2-1 count. Donay had a good start to the summer. Hit some balls really hard. Has the hardest hit ball on the Cape so far this season. Almost 110 miles an hour on the exit velo per TrackMan. 2-2, runner goes. Bluffs goes back. It's outside.
I've seen a couple of fastballs here all over the zone. A couple upstairs, one down there to Highfill. Got to be careful here. It's 3-1, a big hitter here. Donay led off the 4th with a double. Extra base hits hurt. There's already been several in this game from Hyannis.
3-1 is in, and it's tipped into the glove. Donay tried to hold up his swing, ended up getting a piece of it. Count now runs full. It's 3-2. Amick still creeping over at first. Ryan rocks himself set, staggers the feet as he comes set at the belt. Right leg kick, 3-2. Runs inside, ball 4. Ryan enters out of the bullpen and surrenders a walk to the first man he faces. There's now 2 aboard with 1 away for Elijah Hainline.
Yeah, didn't see any walks from Carson Montgomery. Now it's the bullpen who's kind of letting up a little bit here. Got to find a way to strand these base runners. Runner on second still attached to Antoine Jean's tab. Ryan trying to strand him here.
Breaking ball on the first pitch. It's a called strike to Elijah Hainline. His debut has not been what he envisioned to this point. 0 for 3. Ground out, pop out, and a fly out. Ryan gets the sign from Highfill behind the dish. Long look back to Amick. Fastball tipped into the glove, and it's 0-2. Doors in the black road uniforms at home tonight with the white pants. Got the maroon stirrups and the white socks. 0-2, foul back to the screen. Hainline stays alive. Another 0-2 upcoming.
Trying to work him backwards there, trying to get a fastball by the swinging Hainline. Just barely stays with it. Now you could maybe try to drop in one of those breaking balls like you did to get ahead right out of the gate, just somewhere up and in.
Hainline coming off a 337 average this season and skies one out to deep left center. Going back is Humphreys. He'll make the catch on the track. The throw comes into second to split the runners. And they're on the corners as Amick moves on up. Donay holds at first, but 2 away.
Well, the breaking ball did the job. You got him to get under it, but not by much. Almost looks like Hainline was expecting that one and just barely was not able to clear the straight center field fence here. And, I mean, hey, it did the job. That's what you were looking for. You got 2 outs. You trust Humphreys back there to get that ball in quickly. Didn't really have a play on going to third there. And more importantly, you keep that runner at first, tight to first base for now.
Here's Will Taylor. Another Clemson Tiger trying to score his teammate over at third base. He'll chop one to the left side. Keelan will take the short way to second to retire the side. But Hyannis gets one across after the leadoff triple from Cam Smith. We head to the bottom of the 8th. It's 3-1 Harbor Hawks on the Commodores Radio Network. Four, five, six in the order coming up for the Doors in the bottom of the 8th. It's a 3-1 ball game at Guv Fuller Field. Falmouth trying to snap a 4-game losing streak before the off day tomorrow, but going to have to rally here in the final 2 innings. As Ethan Lanthier remains on the bump to face Ross Ifill, and then Gavin Keelan and Christian Martin after that.
Well, they picked Ross very, very carefully here. He's come up with, a base runner on to lead off the ball game, had 2 guys on in the third, and then had some men on in that 5th inning at bat. Now you got no one on, so you want to see his swing. Let's see how many fastballs they give him. It's been a heavy dose of the off speed.
He did get a fastball on that first pitch, but it missed outside. It's a 1-0 count. Goes off speed, drops down into the dirt. It's a 2-0 count. The Commodores catcher 0 for 3 with those 3 strikeouts. Trying to change that feeling in this at-bat. 2-0. Big breaker for a called strike. Really slow off-speed pitch there from Lanthier. Gets him into the count. It's 2-1. Fastball is skied high out to left. Mitchell with a long run. Goes back on it, now comes in. Had some trouble with it, but still finds the bottom of his mitt for out number 1.
Yeah, just getting underneath that one. Ross finally able to put a ball in play because of how they've been pitching him so heavily with the breaking balls. They know who that bat is in the cleanup spot. He took him deep last time these 2 teams played.
Now Gavin Keelan stepping up 0 for 3 to this point. First pitch swinging. Fouls a fastball back to the screen. It's 0-1. Lights shining bright here at Guv Fuller Field. As Keelan takes an 0-1 breaking ball for a called strike. Well, spinner back over the heart from Lanthier. Get ahead in the count 0-2. Keelan bends the knees, relaxed stance from that left side. The 0-2. It's another off speed. That time it stays high and outside. It's 1-2. Lanthier works exclusively from the stretch, rocks himself set. 1-2. Breaking ball, swing and a miss. Went to the slider. Keelan couldn't get the bat on it. Punch out for out number 2. That's the third for Lanthier already. And the Doors with just 4 outs to work with now.
Yeah, 11 strikeouts for Falmouth tonight. A lot yesterday as well. It's been tough for this offense, just trying to figure it out, but it comes in bunches, especially with the talent you have here on this Falmouth team. It'll come.
First pitch misses to Christian Martin. This is the 3rd straight game with double-digit strikeouts for the Commodores offense. 1-0. Called strike. Breaking ball. Catches the outside edge, much to the disagreement of Christian Martin, but he'll dig back in with a 1-1 count. Another breaking ball, stays outside, 2-1. Big righty in Lanthier. Gets the sign, he works very quickly from the stretch, first base side. 2-1 fastball, big swing and a miss. Elevates the heater, Martin couldn't catch up to it, and we're even at 2-2. Martin bends the knees, widens the stance with 2 strikes, the 2-2. Breaking ball, swing and a miss. Lanthier works a quick 1-2-3 inning in the bottom of the 8th. Time to head to the 9th. It's 3-1. Hyannis in front from Guv Fuller Field. Joey Ryan will face 7, 8, 9 in the Hyannis order here in the top of the 9th, trying to keep the deficit at 2 and hope that the bats on the other side will be able to come through in the bottom of the 9th and rally for the Doors. It's been a better night at the plate for Falmouth than yesterday, but still just the 1 run to show for it. That's all they've managed in each of the last 3 entering tonight as well.
Yeah, and the common trend is those double-digit strikeouts, Zach, that we talked about. It's tough. I mean, they mixed it up today, going with the machine for batting practice and trying to just switch things up a little bit. And it's been a tough stretch for Falmouth, no doubt about it.
Gonna get the day off tomorrow. Hopefully can reset some things, but a rally in the bottom of the 9th would surely help the momentum. First pitch fastball misses to Nick Mitchell. Good to see Mitchell still in the game after that acrobatic attempt over at first base, trying to get out of the way of Cade Snell. Went airborne and landed kind of hard on his back. 1-1. Big swing and a miss. On the breaking ball, even up the count. Nick Mitchell 0 for 3 in his Hyannis debut. 1-1 heater on the ground to the left side. Keelan charging in and out of the glove, and the throw won't get him. Nick Mitchell aboard, and a leadoff base runner once again for Hyannis.
It's going to be ruled a Falmouth error on that one over at Gavin Keelan. Slow chopper. There's been a good chunk of those today over towards Keelan, having to make the kind of suicide one-handed glove effort there, running in and the throw on the run. We've seen him do it several times, but if it eats up on you like that, you don't have enough time to recover, especially with the speed in the box.
Mitchell creeping off the bag. Earhart squared to bunt, went around, didn't get it. It's 0-1, and just the frustration oozing out of that right-handed batter's box from Zach Earhart.
Yeah, definitely was not coming down with that one, no doubt about it. Good pitch to get ahead from Ryan.
Righty working back from the stretch once again. High leg kick. 0-1 does get the bunt down this time. It's right to DeBarge at third. Throw on the run does get Earhart, but Hyannis moves the runner up into scoring position with one away, trying to add yet another here in the top of the ninth.
Well, you want to keep it where it is if you're Joey Ryan. The bunt doing the job there for sure. And now, a base hit brings in another crucial run here for Hyannis. You can never have too many if you're the road team going into the bottom of the ninth, especially with your last ups in this top half. You want to get as many as you can.
Bradkey Laurie steps in. Doubled and scored back in the third. Strikeout and a ground out. It's to AB Sense. Shoots that one out into left. Long run in from Bazana, but he'll make the play. Good closing speed out there in left field for out number 2.
Well, that'll certainly work. Quick at bat there and getting the out from Laurie, who's been, just that double to lead off the third, but a couple of putouts since. So you like what you've done with him down at the bottom of the order, but the best bat in this lineup now steps in.
Cam Smith has a chance at a cycle with a single here. Homered to lead off the game, doubled in the 5th, tripled in the 8th. First pitch, fastball up, and it's 1-0. We saw a cycle in the Cape League just a few days ago. Derek Bender of Bourne hit a cycle against Hyannis, and now Cam Smith trying to do it to the doors, but Joey Ryan trying to keep that out of the equation here and get out of this inning.
Yeah, it would be a backbreaker to let up a base hit here.
High pop-up, foul territory, left side. DeBarge running out on it. He'll make the play to retire the side. So the leadoff error doesn't come back to bite the doors in the top of the ninth. It's 7-8-9 for Falmouth on the other side of the break, trying to rally from Guv Fuller Field. Michael Rodriguez takes the mound looking for the save here for Hyannis. In the bottom of the ninth inning, and a pair of lefties due up for the doors against the big lefty in Rodriguez. Snell, Humphreys, and Yannick, the 3 for Falmouth.
Yeah, he made his debut here on the Cape League this season against Falmouth, and it was in that 3-2 walk-off win. Went 2 1/3 at the end of that ball game. Only walked a man and struck out 4. Only had to face 8 guys, and certainly had his presence felt with the hard-throwing left-hander going up against the 2 lefties here. This is going to be a tough spot for the Commodores, bottom of the order. But hey, we saw what the last 2 sets of at-bats for Joe Redfield and Travis Bazana have been. They've set the table for Kyle DeBarge, who's come up with some big spots. If these guys in the bottom half can maybe figure something out and maybe allow a Redfield maybe to get a chance to bat, extend the inning, you need your 7-8-9 here to give yourselves a chance there at the top of the order.
Cade Snell will try to start that off as he steps in. Lefty-lefty matchup. Rodriguez rocks himself set. First base side of the rubber. Left leg kick. Fires a first pitch slider for a called strike. Really tough arm slot from the lefty. Snell digs back in. 1 for 3 so far on the night. Open stance. Keeps that back elbow high and rests the bat on the left shoulder as he awaits the delivery. Swing and a miss. Went right back to the slider. The last one was in the zone. This one started in the zone and broke away from the bat of Cade Snell.
That's a good pitch. That's what you're looking for now, and you could go to anything here ahead 0-2.
The pitch from Rodriguez. Just misses on the fastball. Rodriguez started his strikeout strut there, but turns around, heads back to the rubber. It's a 1-2 count to Cade Snell. Rodriguez working from the stretch. That high leg kick. 1-2. Slider hit the other way and into left field, a base hit. Cade Snell start things off with a base runner and the tying run to the plate for Falmouth here in the bottom of the ninth.
Well, you never want to be down 2 runs in the bottom half of your last chance, but it's a bloop and a blast, and you're right back in this ball game. So you present an opportunity for Humphreys, and for a guy with big power numbers, 14 home runs, 55 RBIs, looking for him to break out, this could be that spot.
Tying run at the plate for the Doors. 2-step lead for Snell. First pitch, fastball outside. It's 1-0.
Just a good piece of hitting, too, done there by Snell. Ground ball the other way. They had the shift on him. That's what you're supposed to do when the shift's on you. Heavy right side, just go the other way.
Long hold from Rodriguez, the 1-0. Fastball out again, it's 2-0. The Doors dugout up on the fence, getting things ready to go, trying to will their team here in the bottom of the ninth.
And not your traditional 9-hole hitter on deck in Walker Hyannis. Big power numbers here in 8-9.
The 2-0. Slider, called strike as it catches the outside corner to get Rodriguez back in the count. It's 2-1.
A little friendly there from Joe Gravina, but that's okay. Don't let it eat at you in this at-bat.
The 2-1. Chopper foul. It was an off-speed pitch. Humphreys out in front of it, got a piece of it, though, and it's 2-2.
Well, that's back-to-back breaking balls there. And, you took one there off the outside. You foul one off. This is a big chance.
Rodriguez deals the 2-2. Just a touch outside, and we're full.
Well, great take. It's got to be close enough to take in the 9th inning, and that just barely must have been. Huge spot here for both sides.
Payoff pitch, fouled off. Humphrey stays alive.
Gave him that breaking ball there. Got to wait on it. You got to be disciplined when a guy like Rodriguez throws those mid-90s from the left quarter arm slot and then can slow it down on you that like he just has so far. It's tough to stay disciplined waiting on that breaking ball. And he buys himself another chance.
Lefty rocks himself set. Another 3-2. Line drive, one hopper to second. Laurie Fields flipped a short relay. Not in time. Humphreys beats it out, breaks up the double play, but a hard hit ball, and it's still out number 1.
Well, obviously not what you want to have happen, but that's okay because Humphreys beats it out of the box. Waited on another breaking ball there and hits it on a line. I mean, he got this one on the screws, a one-hopper to the second baseman, Laurie, and that's tough because you're all over the baseball. But Humphreys, good credit to hustle out of the box. And again, you present Hyannis an opportunity with the pitcher working, contending with a base runner. Now, again, the tying run remains in the box.
Walker Hyannis 0 for 3 to this point. Really good numbers at Sam Houston State and took a big hack on that first pitch fastball. He tried to put that one into the seating outside behind the fences there. Was not looking to keep that ball in the ballpark.
Well, that was a really big cut. We know he's capable of it. A couple of really good hits against Bourne the other day. He's another one of these guys just waiting for him to break out just a little bit. We've seen glimpses of it. A massive spot for all the bats coming up here for Falmouth.
Long look over to Humphreys at first. He's got a good lead, and Rodriguez with a little sidearm flip over to Austin Kelly, who's holding on Humphreys. Hyannis bends himself back into the box. Hands tight from the right side. 0-1, elevated fastball, swing and a miss.
Really, really different approach here to the righty versus the lefty of Humphreys. Giving him the hot stuff, and we'll see what he goes to here. Again, 0-2, ahead quickly. Humphreys battled back. We'll see if Hyannis can do the same.
The 0-2. Pop foul out of play. Hyannis stays alive. Got 3 straight heaters to start the AB.
Well, he tried to work him there quickly and working backwards. Yannick fighting it off there and could go to the breaking ball here. And we'll see if maybe Rodriguez leaves him a mistake, but got to stay disciplined there when you are in a count for a breaking ball.
Runner goes. The 0-2 is the breaking ball. It's high. The throw down. Not in time. Humphreys swipes second. And a man in scoring position.
Tremendous read there by Humphreys. Now the double plays out of order. Thinking along the same lines where you get 3 fastballs. Okay, let's something else. You never want to throw a good hitter the same pitch consecutive times, let alone 4 there. Perfect spot for the breaking ball. Humphreys and the Commodores all knew that it could be coming, and great way to put it in motion. And a base hit makes it a 1-run game.
Rodriguez, 2 looks back. Now lifts the leg. The 1-2 is low with the fastball. And Yannick has worked back to an even count at 2-2.
Well, that one was low. Never had a chance. You got to trust your backstop there and Done to keep that in front. Looks like a spiked fastball there and putting pressure on the pitcher here.
Wind still blowing out to left center. Yannick bends the knees from the right side. The 2-2. Breaking ball, strike 3 called. Spun that slider back into the zone, and Yannick goes down looking for out number 2.
That's really tough. Because early in the count, you're getting the fastball. He's come back with a couple of breaking balls here. Some really disciplined takes and fighting of the pitches off, and that's one there that you just like to see in Yannick's wheelhouse, and he was left buckled. That's a big out, but Redfield, he's got the pop. Last chance for Falmouth.
First pitch, fastball, low and outside. It's 1-0. Lefty-lefty matchup with Redfield. Bazana's on deck. He's the go-ahead run. The tying run at the plate is Redfield. The man at second base is Humphreys. Rodriguez lifts the leg. The 1-0 is the slider. High chopper on the right side. Going to be a tough play. The throw is in time to get Redfield by half a step. And the Harbor Hawks take this one 3-1 from Falmouth.
Really tough because the Doors battled. They fought every inning. They gave themselves a chance to score more than 1 run, and that includes this 9th inning here. The 2 runs that we saw earlier from Hyannis were good enough for this one, but they certainly needed that insurance because the Doors were threatening tying run in the box over the course of those last 3 at-bats this inning, and a really gutsy effort from this Falmouth team that had some more offense in them today. But again, the stranded base runner is something we just haven't seen from them over the last 2 losses that have been of little offensive production. Very different outcome today. In the hits category, yet the same 1 run on the board now in 3 consecutive nights.
Doors strand 9 on the base paths. Can't bring across enough to get Hyannis and fall once again to get to the off day tomorrow at 3-10-2. It's been a rough start for Falmouth, but 29 games left on the rest of this season.
Yeah, there's plenty of time. Like you know what's going to be coming. You have a great opportunity both ways. And you got to look. It would be nice to have a win going into the off day, or let it be a reset. A very, very tough stretch for Falmouth now, 5 consecutive losses. Step away from it a little bit. Clear your mind and come back to work and get ready to get rolling. It's a very good and hot team in Orleans who, by the way, the last time those 2 teams faced, both were at the bottom of their divisions respectfully. Since then, now Orleans has surged back into the middle of the pack and up near the 2 spot in the East. So that goes to show you the talent here across Cape Cod is so tough and so good that even a Falmouth team can look scary any given night. And don't be fooled by being in the basement. It takes just a game or 2 to get hot, and then you're in a different situation. You got to hope that's what can happen for Falmouth after the off day tomorrow. But nonetheless, just a tough one tonight.
Doors will use that one to rest and get back to action on Wednesday from Orleans. For everybody out here at Guv Fuller Field helping us put this one on today, McKenna Wall on the graphics, Destiny Sanchez, my broadcast partner, Matt Venezia. I'm Zach Sardenik, hoping you have a blessed rest of your Monday night, and good night from Falmouth.